Hey, beautiful people. I know it's late, but I got your recap for you. It will be premiering at 9:45 p.m. So if you missed the live, don't worry about it. It'll be there in Orrin and Orson's playlist, excuse me, for you. But I'm not going to chit chat too long because I'm already off schedule. Today we had Miss Wanda West on the stand. We talked her up last night, I guess. She was there. She got emotional. It was pretty intense. And they brought back an officer that had already been on the stand, my favorite guy, well, one of my favorite guys. And they also brought a CPS forensic interviewer. So very interesting today. Hi, Jennifer. Hey, love. How are you? I didn't know if I catch anybody tonight because I'm off schedule, but I'm still here. Gonna do what I'm supposed to do. And again, the premiere is right after this, so we can catch up in chat, you guys. Let me get this going. It's about just under 30 minutes for today's minutes. All right, let's share screen. Sorry, you guys, I'm already kind of in bed, so I look a hot mess. So I'm not going to turn the camera on tonight. Okay. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate you, love. I'm going to mute out and get this going for us.
Although the boys' bodies have not been found, the prosecution has said that evidence.
Okay, we can, I guess, film each other. Okay. Well, thank you. I'm just trying to figure out what happened. They were only 3 and 4 years old.
You got it right, but you got it wrong. But you got it.
I mean, okay.
We'll see something.
Although the boys' bodies have not been found, the prosecution has said that evidence, including interviews with the West's other children, indicates the boys were killed in September of 2020, 3 months before the West reported them missing. The West are charged with second-degree murder, involuntary manslaughter, and other offenses and face life terms in prison if convicted.
The trial of Jacqueline and Trezell West resumes this morning. Wanda West, Trezell's mother, is testifying via Zoom. Wanda West said she is in Washington, D.C., visiting one of her sons. She has 3 sons. Trezell is the middle child. Wanda West said Trezell and Jacqueline have been married since 2010, have 2 biological children. She said she lived on Potomac Avenue back in 2020 when the boys were reported missing. She said she had lived there since about 1999. Wanda West testified her son and daughter-in-law became involved in foster care around 2015. She identified a photo taken in 2019 of the 4 adopted children the West had. At the Potomac Avenue house, she lived with her husband and youngest son. Before 2020, she went to Casa Loma Apartments, where the West lived before moving to Cal City, about 2 or 3 times a month, sometimes to babysit, sometimes to visit. In March of 2020, Wanda West said COVID hit, and she didn't get to see them as much. She said she stopped going. Wanda West is describing the personality of each of the West children. She's describing the biological and adopted children. She said Orrin was very quiet and maybe had a learning disability. Orson would cry if he didn't know you, but would calm down with toys. Wanda West said she became aware the West purchased a house in California City. She said she agreed to help them move. She agreed to watch the 4 older boys while they moved. She rented a U-Haul truck for the West and rented a car for herself to drive to Cal City. She doesn't own a car. On September 18th, she got the rental car, got the U-Haul, and went to Cal City. Prosecutor Eric Smith is asking about the rental agreement for the U-Haul. Wanda West testified she arrived at Cal City between 11 a.m. and noon on September 18, 2020. She said Trezell and Jacqueline greeted her. She walked in the door and she said she saw 4 boys in the house, not Orrin or Orson. Wanda West said she didn't ask about Orrin or Orson. She said she thought they were with Jacqueline's mother, Maria Martinez. You just assumed that Orrin and Orson were with Miss Martinez? Smith asked. Yes, Wanda said. Wanda West said she thinks she last saw Orrin and Orson in February of 2020. She said due to COVID, Trezell would drive by. The older boys would get out of the van and say hi, and they would tell her Orrin and Orson were in the van. While at the house on September 18, 2020, Wanda West said she watched videos with the kids, walked around, and during that time, Trezell and Jacqueline traveled back to Bakersfield. Wanda West said she believed she heard Trezell and Jacqueline come home later that night or early the next morning. She said she didn't see Orrin or Orson with them. She walked into the kitchen and saw Trezell and Jacqueline. Wanda West said she went back to bed. She awoke on September 19, 2020. She got a call or text from U-Haul telling her to turn the truck back in. She said she knocked on the door to wake up Trezell and Jacqueline to tell them about the truck. The West got up and started unloading the truck. Wanda West said she went back to the door and saw them removing boxes from the truck, and they brought in those and furniture. She said the West on September 18, 2020, had driven the white van to Bakersfield, left it there, and picked up the U-Haul, driving it to Cal City. Wanda West testified she didn't see Orrin or Orson as they unloaded the truck. Wanda West said on September 19, 2020, she went to the U-Haul in Cal City and rented the truck for another day. Wanda West said she was with the 4 older boys for about an hour when she went to a credit union and a McDonald's. When she returned with the boys, she said she didn't see Orrin or Orson. Wanda West said Trezell and Jacqueline on the afternoon of September 19, 2020, left in the U-Haul to return to Bakersfield. Wanda West said they probably went to bed between 10 or 11 p.m. She said she's not sure what time the West got home. She said she was supposed to go back to Bakersfield on September 20th, 2020. She got up at 7 a.m. Wanda West said she watched TV with the 4 older boys. She said Trezell and Jacqueline were probably putting things away. The truck had to be returned that morning. Wanda West said she did not see Orrin or Orson that morning. The U-Haul was returned in California City. Trezell drove the vehicle, and Wanda West went with him. They drove back in her rental car to the house in Cal City. She had lunch with the 4 older boys, didn't see Orrin or Orson. Wanda West said she went back home that afternoon after 4 p.m. When she got back to Bakersfield, it was dark. Trezell went with her. Jacqueline and the 4 older boys remained at the Cal City house. Wanda West said she went to Casa Loma Apartments so Trezell could pick up the white van. She says she dropped him off, turned around, and saw him driving right behind her. They went in different directions, leaving the apartment complex. Wanda West says she doesn't recall speaking with Trezell on December 5, 2020, about visiting her house. Smith showed Wanda West a document with a message in which she wrote on December 4, 2020, asking Trezell what time he was coming tomorrow. She got a response saying, "in the morning," according to the document. Wanda West said she got robes for the West. Her son responded saying he and Jacqueline loved the robes. On December 16, 2020, Wanda West sent a message to the West. It says she would like a family picture of everyone by the fireplace wearing their robes. She said she never got that picture. Wanda West has become emotional, saying she never got the photo because of what happened days later. She had wanted the photo as a Christmas present, Wanda West can be seen crying through the Zoom cameras, but said she's ready to proceed. Wanda West said there was a plan before Christmas for her to keep the 4 older boys from December 19th to December 23rd or 24th, 2020. On December 19th, Wanda West said the 4 boys were dropped off. Orrin and Orson weren't with them, and she thought they were with Maria Martinez. But Wanda West added they may have been in the back of the van. She didn't see them. Wanda West said she went to a credit union with Trezell and Jacqueline on September 19th, 2020. They went there to get the West some gas money. She said she didn't see Orrin or Orson in the back of the van, but Jacqueline West told her they were in the back asleep. Wanda West said the seats are high in the van, so you can't see the back seat of the van where the kids sit. Wanda West said she didn't see or hear Orrin or Orson in the van when they went to the credit union. She said music was playing in the van. Wanda West said when she left the van, she didn't make any attempt to say goodbye to Orrin or Orson because her son and daughter-in-law told her they were sleeping. No, I didn't, she said when Smith asked if she made an attempt to see them. On December 22nd, 2020, police arrived at Wanda West's home and told her Orrin and Orson had been reported missing. An officer interviewed the 4 other boys at her home, she said. The other 4 children were removed from her home. She was allowed to visit them once a month. The last time she visited them was last month. Smith ended his questioning, and court will be in recess for 15 minutes. The trial has resumed, and Timothy Hennessy, lead attorney for Trezell West, has begun cross-examination of Wanda West. Wanda West has begun crying after being asked if the West 4 other boys were startled when police arrived at her home the day after Orrin and Orson were reported missing. Of course they were, she said. Wanda West confirmed she is the woman who can be heard crying in the background as the children are interviewed. Wanda West said she heard Orrin and Orson had been taken by somebody. She said she can't recall if she was told it was a murder investigation the morning police arrived. Wanda West agreed it's shocking to her because her son and Jacqueline are being talked about as being monstrous people. She said they fell in love with the boys and never wanted them to be hurt. They cared for them, as far as she saw. Wanda West testified she cooperated with authorities. She said she wanted to know the truth. Hennessy is going over Wanda West's actions on December 19, 2020. It's really hard to, Wanda West said when asked if it's hard to remember things from that long ago. Wanda West again said the last time she saw Orrin and Orson was in February 2020. Hennessy asked if she told the FBI she saw them in April or May 2020. She said that's not correct. Wanda West said COVID was a big deal for her family. They knew people who died. They stayed away from other people. Hennessy asked about Trezell doing drive-bys at her house. Wanda West said there were no drive-bys and didn't involve a gun, prompting an outburst of laughter from the jury and audience. Hennessy clarified that he meant driving by for the children to say hi to her. Hennessy asked about a plan for her and her husband Philip to pick out a room for visits. Hennessy asked if the policy of Trezell and Jacqueline West was to not give photos of the kids once adoption began. She said they had asked her not to take photos of the foster children because they knew she would post them on social media. She said it was the West policy not to send photos of the children. Hennessy is asking about her visit to Cal City in September 2020 when the West moved. Wanda West said she heard the couple come home in the night of September. Wanda West said she heard the couple come home the night of September 18, 2020, then woke them up the next morning because she got a message. The U-Haul was due. The West rented the truck again for another day. I did not see Orrin or Orson, she said. Confirmed that didn't seem out of the ordinary because she believed they were at Jacqueline's mother's house. Wanda West testified it was her understanding Orrin and Orson would stay with the West when the other children spent December 19th through the 23rd, 2020 at her house. Wanda West said one of the reasons the 4 other children would stay with her, but not Orrin and Orson, was because the latter two had learning disabilities and cried a lot, and she couldn't give them the time they needed while watching the other four. Wanda West, under questioning by Hennessy, said she had forgotten they needed to go to the credit union on December 19th until Trezell reminded her. Wanda West said she tried to get custody of the other children. Yes, because they're my relatives. They're my kids, she said. She said her son put up a reward for info about Orrin and Orson, and she thinks another relative hired a private investigator. Wanda West confirmed one of the West biological children told her he had talked with a caseworker and another person about the case. Wanda West said she was not threatened by law enforcement. YouTubers threatened her, she said. Hennessy ended his questioning. Wanda West has been excused. California City Police Officer Brian Hansen has been recalled to the stand. He has identified an aerial view of the West Cal City home and surrounding area. Hansen has been asked about the officers responding to the home of a Ramon Hernandez. Hansen said he recalls going to that home. He said he did not see surveillance footage from that home. Hansen testified he went to a Dollar General in California City. After reviewing a report, he said he went there on December 30th, 2020 to get video from December 19th and saw Trezell West enter the store. He was by himself, Hansen said. Smith ended his questioning. Alexia Torres Stallings, lead counsel for Jacqueline, asked why Hansen didn't seize the footage. He said he believes it was their intention to seize it, but they never got around to it. He didn't write a report. Body cam wasn't on. Torres Stallings asked if he spoke with Wanda and Philip West when arriving at their home on December 22nd, 2020. He said yes, but said he didn't tell them the boys were malnourished or that Trezell and Jacqueline had murdered Orrin and Orson. Hansen testified he wrote a report about that day. He said he believes he had a camera on when he spoke with the West. He said he has not reviewed the video. Torres Stallings ended her questioning, and Victor Nasser, an attorney for Trezell, is questioning Hansen. Hansen said he doesn't believe he told anyone to retrieve the video from Ramon Hernandez's house. He said he believes a lieutenant knew about the video. Hansen has been excused. Court is in recess until 1:30 p.m. Sonia Barton has taken the stand. She works for CPS. She interviewed the West's eldest child when he said he saw Orrin West die. She was the lead forensic interviewer and is now a supervisor in the department. Her bachelor's is in psychology and her master's is in social work. Forensic interview is an interview with a child regarding an incident. She has received training in how to conduct these interviews. Interviews take place at the Jess Diamond Child Assessment Center at the Jameson Center. Barton says children are asked open-ended questions. They're asked if they know the difference between a truth and a lie. If it is determined the child is not emotionally or mentally capable to proceed, it doesn't mean the story they're telling isn't true. They'll proceed with the interview. The social worker will have been given some information from law enforcement about what the case is about. Barton says they don't put words in a child's mouth. Sometimes we walk out of there and we don't have an answer, she said. The purpose of the interview is to get the child to tell their story, how they remember it, Barton said. She tries not to ask questions that have yes or no answers. Barton said she remembers an interview she conducted with one of the West adopted children after Orrin and Orson were reported missing. A sidebar has been requested by defense attorney Timothy Hennessy. The judge and attorneys are back. Smith is going to play a video of the interview Barton had with the child. The video has begun. It occurred at about 11:30 a.m. on December 22nd, 2020. The child enters the frame and sits on a chair, and Barton sits on the couch and starts talking with him. The boy was 8 at the time. He promises to tell the truth. The boy said he goes to school at his house, and his parents teach him. He said he likes it, likes getting stickers. The boys asked about living in Bakersfield and who was in the apartment with him. He couldn't remember at first, but then said he remembers it was him and his brothers, including Orrin and Orson, and his parents. The boy says Orrin went to his grandmother's house and Orson left. The boy says he hasn't seen Orrin and Orson since they moved, but they're going to come back. He says there was a space on the bunk beds for the boys and that the West's eldest son said they would come back. The boy says he's worried about both Orrin and Orson. He says he wants them to return to play with him. The boy says the West's biological children talked about where Orrin and Orson were, but he doesn't know where they went. Barton leaves for a minute, then returns and resumes questioning. Asked who moved from Bakersfield to Cal City, the boy names his other brothers, but not Orrin and Orson. The video has ended. Smith is now going to play an interview Barton had with one of the West's biological children. The boy is 7. He says he went to his grandmother Wanda's house over the weekend for a vacation. Barton asks why he's here to talk with her. He says he doesn't know. He's just there. Where did Orrin and Orson go? Barton asked. They went to their own home because they cried a lot, the boy says. He says his parents told him that. Asked again, the boy confirms the boys never went to California City. The boy says his dad spanked Orrin and Orson, all of the children. Asked if the spankings left marks, the boy says no, but they would bleed. The boy says the metal part of a belt his dad used would make them bleed. The boy says his father spanked them to make them be quiet. Orrin and Orson also bled from spanking, he says. He says his dad would tell them to shut up. The video ends. Smith ended his questioning. Alexia Torres-Stallings, lead attorney for Jacqueline West, has begun cross-examination. Torres-Stallings is asking about investigations and how CPS conducts them, how the process works. Barton said they'll make a referral, and if it's a criminal matter, they'll work with law enforcement. Torres-Stallings asked if CPS relies on law enforcement to give them the details of the investigation. Barton said yes, because they're the lead on forensic interviews. Barton agreed general neglect falls under a wide variety of circumstances. Torres-Stallings said she wants to talk about the history of forensic interviews. She asked about the McMartin case, and Barton says she's not familiar with it. She also said she wasn't familiar with another case referenced by the attorney. Court is in recess for 15 minutes. Court is back in session with Sonia Barton still on the stand. She's testifying about the corridor, known for female victims and trafficking for prostitution. It goes from Kern County to Los Angeles to San Diego and Las Vegas. Torres-Stallings asked if human trafficking goes to Texas. Yes, Barton said. Barton said her time frame in questioning the boys focused on August and September 2020. Barton said she was not aware law enforcement had interviewed the children hours before her first interviews. She did not view any videos taken of those interviews. Torres-Stallings asked if it's standard for her to tell children she doesn't know what's happening with their family. Barton says yes. It's standard to let the children know she doesn't know exactly what's happened in their family. Judge Charles R. Brimmer has called a sidebar after an objection from Smith. They're back, and Torres-Stallings is referring to a transcript of the interview Barton conducted with one of the children. During the interview, Torres-Stallings says the West's eldest son talked with Barton about Orrin and Orson's biological family. She directed Barton to a passage of the transcript. Barton said it's correct. The boy said he had seen the biological family before. Then she moved on to another topic. But Torres-Stallings said the boy brought the biological family up again in his third interview with Barton. Smith objected on the ground of relevance based on the sidebar they just had. The judge is looking at the transcript. Judge Brimmer said he'll allow Barton to read the portion indicated by Torres-Stallings, then see what the next question is. After multiple objections to Tori Stallings' questions, the judge has called another sidebar. The judge and attorneys have returned. Barton said she didn't change the subject regarding the passage Tori Stallings had her read. She said the child had finished his statement. Tori Stallings is asking about the allegations one of the children made about spanking. Barton said she watched the video with the rest of the room. She said the child never said when the spanking occurred. Barton said children undergo a physical evaluation when they enter the Jamison Center. The West children were placed in protective custody and taken to the Jamison Center, Barton said. She said she would assume an evaluation was conducted. Barton says she has testified 5 times in her career. Tori Stallings asked her to wait until she has finished asking a question before responding. Barton said, okay. After the forensic interview, she had nothing else to do with the investigation, Barton said. She doesn't know if marks were found on the boys' bodies. That's not her part of the investigation, Barton said, when Tori Stallings asked if she followed up to see if marks had been found on the boys. Barton testified there are certain protocols to follow when conducting a forensic interview. Barton said she is not licensed as a social worker through the state and never has been. The state of California. Barton says she doesn't know if state protocols differ from the protocols required under Child Protective Services. Interview tactics differ depending on the case. Barton said this was the first missing persons forensic interview she had conducted in her 11 years with the department. Tori Stallings has moved on to the second interview Barton conducted with the West's eldest biological son. This forensic interview came up because the child, placed with a resource family, had seen news feeds regarding his parents and had questions, Barton said. The resource parent informed a social worker, who Barton assumes told law enforcement, and a follow-up interview was requested. Barton testified the resource parent was upset with what the boy had told her. The second interview occurred around December 28, 2020. Barton said she was probably aware of some other details that had come out about the case, but can't recall specifics. Barton said she can't recall knowing the West vehicle had been forensically evaluated, but said she recalls someone saying there was no evidence. Barton said she has not reviewed text messages between herself and another social worker. She said she doesn't recall the other worker reminding her about the smell in the vehicle. Tori Stallings has showed Barton a document, and Barton said it does not refresh her memory. Barton testified after her first interview with all 4 children, she believed the eldest child was not being truthful. She had that belief when she conducted the second interview with the eldest child. Tori Stallings ended her questioning. On redirect, Barton said she felt like the eldest boy was not being truthful, didn't want to get his parents in trouble. Her impression about second interview was that he was more forthcoming about what he said happened in the home. On recross, Barton said other than the interviews, she relied on info from law enforcement and the other social worker. Barton testified she was aware a dig had been completed at the Cal City home and no remains were found. Barton said yes. Tori Stallings asked her the prior question. She followed up by asking if she was aware the home had been searched and no forensic evidence had been found. That's because the children weren't in the house, Barton said, drawing chuckles from some audience members. Barton has been excused, and the trial will resume at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So there we have it, y'all. Miss Wanda West. Let's go ahead and just address the elephant in the room. You know, the beginning of this video is very important because I thought they were going to go there and ask her, what does she mean by you got it right, but you got it wrong? But they might recall her, so we won't give up on that yet because that means something. It means a whole lot of something. But she starts crying up there, and I kind of got in my feels a little bit. I'm like, okay, it's a grandma. This is tough for her. You don't expect your son to be labeled a murderer and all these good things, right? And I almost empathized until they started asking her about being picked up. Okay, she hadn't seen these boys for 10 months, and she got picked up by Jacqueline and Trezell to go get gas money or something from the credit union. And she takes this whole ride with them, chops it up, maybe about the weather, she said. They go get the money. You back in the car. They go back to the house. The whole time, she doesn't look in the back of the van to see her grandbabies that are allegedly back there. They told her that the boys are back there asleep. She thought they were with Miss Martinez because she hadn't seen them in months. So you would think that if she thought that she would say, oh, really? My grandkids are in the back? I was telling my sweetheart earlier, listen, my mama would have woke everybody kids up, especially her grandbabies. They're in the back of this van that I'm in right now, and I haven't seen them in 10 months. I want to hug them. I want to kiss them. She didn't do any of that. She just took their word for it. Oh, they back there asleep? Okay, no problem. 10 months, mama, you hadn't seen these babies. Every time you ask about them or every time they come around, there's a different story, a cover-up for why you can't see your grandkids. At what point does a grandmother start to go, something ain't right? Where are my grandbabies? So I have to believe, just like you said, Tracy, she just don't care. And those tears that I was starting to empathize with, those are just guilt, in my opinion. That's from knowing you could have done more. You should have asked some questions. You should have given a damn. That's what I think. Jess, hello, Jess. Hi. Slipped on in here. I'm glad you made it. Sorry, I just started ranting. I wasn't even going to do that after this tonight. I was just going to let it play. But when you hear that stuff again, and it's like, wait, what? And then she gets an attitude and gets like snippy with the attorneys. Yeah, they should be asking you, Grandma, you didn't want, I could see if she saw the babies the night before, but you hadn't seen them in 10 months. Now you get in a vehicle and they say these babies are in here asleep. 20 minutes, you ride around, you don't hear nothing. No little coos coming from the back, nothing. And you just didn't want to say, let me just see them before I go in the house. Let me just open the back. Let me look at them. I won't wake them up. I just want to see them. She lost me with that one. I'm going to tell you right now. She lost me. I feel like a part of her probably thought, thank God they're not here. They cry all the time. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel. Hello, Miller Natural. How did these babies get coached between first and second and third interviews? Speak on it. Girl, I wish I had my camera on so you could see my face. Speak on that right there, because somebody's been talking to these babies for sure. I don't know who, I don't know when, but somebody got in their head. And I think they confused them more than anything, because, kids, they can only do so much lying, for real. And you can kind of hear it. You can kind of hear it when they talk, like, okay, they don't know what they believe anymore. Somebody's gotten in their head. And it started with their parents. I mean, anytime your parents tell you, hey, should we call the ambulance? I gave my son this scenario last night. He's 15. He was like, that's messed up. I'm like, seriously, think about it. And I just used the cat as an example, which we would never hurt her. But I'm like, what if I killed the cat? Even if it was an accident. And I told you, listen, son, we can call the people and tell them, or we can just cover it up, because we don't want to get in trouble. I'll get in trouble. You don't want me to get in trouble, do you? Like, that's so foul. And at 15, he was able to tell me, yeah, that's messed up. I wouldn't want you to do me like that. But that's what they did to that baby, that older one. And I agree, Tracy. I don't think she thought for a moment those babies were in that van. I'm telling you, I think it boiled down to like, shit, thank God. Because they were rambunctious, y'all, right? First word out Trezell's mouth. We know they were a handful. They were adjusting. I forget the term, but they were dealing with like real issues from being torn from their mother still. Of course, they needed a little extra. But if you don't want to deal with it anyway, and then it just so happens that that particular baby just stops coming around, then you might just be like Wanda, like, shh, I ain't gonna ask. Miss Martinez got him. Good. Leave him over there. I just know one thing. There is no way in hell my mama would have let me drive off without seeing her grandbabies after 10 months. You a lie. They in the back of this van. But what she would have discovered, I promise you, is that they weren't there. They weren't there. But bold. Bold as hell for them to tell that lie. They must have known she didn't give a damn. Or that maybe she's just elderly and wasn't gonna go the extra mile to look, and they could just tell her anything. But my mama, she would never. I can't even have a FaceTime around my son. My mom's like, "Oh, is that my grandson?" Like she just forgets I'm even there. Where he at? Hey, I don't understand. I don't understand that type of grandma. She lost me. She did. And all I could think when I really tried to break it down was she was happy they were gone. It was more of a relief. One less kid she had to worry about. And now she probably can't sleep at night because every night that she was grateful they didn't come around, she gets to think and believe and know now that they might have been in their grave. Crazy. Yeah. Yep. Jennifer, she definitely knew better. Come on, man. She knew better. She did not want to look in the back of that van. Don't let her have that benefit. She was responsible for them just as much as her blood. I agree. She's dead wrong for the way she acted towards those boys. There shouldn't have been that division that was there, but you could hear it. You could hear it. And that's the only explanation that a grandmother could have to not, like I said, y'all, 10 months. She literally said when she came out to get in the van, she thought the boys were just automatically with Miss Martinez. She assumed they were not in the vehicle. But when they told her they were, she didn't look. Shandia said maybe she was scared to look. Yeah, maybe, because by this time your nerves have to be bad. You have to be thinking, I ain't seen these boys in a minute. What is going on? But, not everybody is true crime buffs like us, y'all. So maybe her mind didn't, because listen, me, I'm automatically about to be like, oh, no, hell no. What happened? Something done happened. Something done always happened if it ain't right. But not everybody thinks like that. So maybe, I don't know what she thought. So I tried not to think like me. I tried to think like a grandma or a mother. And that's when I came down to the only reason I wouldn't ask is if I don't care. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to be bothered. Ain't my problem. That's when I don't ask questions. That's when I can take a whole ride and talk about the weather. She says the seats in the van were so high. They ain't that damn high. It's just a van. It's not a spaceship, whatever. Come on now. The bottom line was she did the bare minimum as a grandma, and now it's all out for the world to see. And that's why she was snapping at the attorney. She was definitely getting short with him. She did not want him clarifying the fact that she did not look into her grandchildren. She's got to be embarrassed. How can you not be? She ought to be embarrassed. I want her to be embarrassed and do better. I don't know that she could have stopped anything, but from what I heard today, and we talked about this last night, y'all, we were trying to figure out, Terry, was it you that, no, Terry, you said the poison, right? Who mentioned if they rented a car. That might have been a couple nights ago. Somebody said, did they rent a car? And I wasn't sure. But now we know. Mom had rented a car and she rented a U-Haul for them for 2 days. You could do a lot with a U-Haul. I just ran a story about that the other day. Bless her little soul. Oh my God, her name won't come to mind. Mila Miller. The parents, they drove across states with her dead body in a casket in the back of the U-Haul. A hot mess, y'all. Don't even let me get sidetracked. But I'm just saying. Yeah, so they have you said the poisoning for sure, which is still a high probability. Let's see. I'm coming, Sterling. I see that question. The narrative, a true grandparent would ask questions. No ifs, ands, or buts. They all are guilty. Period. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If I call my mama right now, she won't get off the phone without saying, "Where's Steven?" She wants to know. Where's he at? He's in his room. He's doing school. He's outside. And if I walk past him, I better turn that camera on him. What you mean she ain't seen him since February? Please, she would go off. She would go off. Come on. I agree, Terry. Sterling said, do they have the evidence to prove the first kid was murdered? It could have been an accident, right? Not the second kid, though. Exactly. That's the thing. Even if it started out, oops, uh-oh, that means the second time it was premeditated because you got away with it. And it didn't happen like the same night. It wasn't like they both fell down at the same time. It wasn't like this was two totally different times. That part is messing me up. It's really messing me up. Shandia, if you didn't see that story, I might have put it on my TikTok and I have to reformat it to bring it over here. But yeah, poor baby, y'all. It was so sad. Oh my God. So, I mean, when I think about ways that people can discard bodies and, we think about all the time they've had and all the opportunity between Bakersfield, Cal City, Tehachapi, and God knows where else they went. The babies literally could be anywhere. But I asked this last night, Sterling. Did they take the second kid and put him with the first one? When it, you know what I mean? Once they devised the plan, like, well, shoot, the first one disappeared and mama ain't even asking about him. So we might as well get rid of the second. Maybe we could just go on living our life. Like, maybe nobody cares. Like, wow, it's so demented. That's why I'm expecting to see like some first-degree murder somewhere for one of those boys. But it's going to be harder because we don't have a body. Harder for that charge in particular. But I got you, Shandia. I got you. I'll actually show it to you here in just a minute. I sure will. She knows they weren't in the van, Candy Cane said. Which makes her just as guilty. Definitely. What is it? Accessory after the fact? At least. Something like that. We can find a charge for her. Oof. I wish there was a negligent grandma charge because just the fact that she got out of that car and did not look, you didn't even want to see their cute little faces sleeping. You hadn't seen them in almost a year, Wanda. No, I'm done. Sorry, Wanda. I can't have your back. I just can't. Okay. What did you say here? Let me see. One of the boys said 2 days ago they heard a really loud bump in the night. Ah, that's right. I'm not sure about poisoning. Okay. So, yeah. But remember, Miller Nature, that was after, and don't let me lie. If I'm mistaken, correct me. But that was after, I believe, the other baby had vomited And then the next morning, they saw him on his stomach in the bed. And that's where I think the poisoning um, idea came in. Correct me if I'm wrong, Terry. Exactly, Shandia. Just, oh my God. How do you? I'm telling you, that's why she was crying today. And she was crying. But it was more, I think it was shame. You got to be embarrassed. Those were your grandbabies. And you sitting here saying, even the attorney said, I saw after 10, even after 10 months, you didn't want to. She said, no. I thought they said they were asleep. And she was so choppy, like she just wanted him to shut up and go away at times. It's shame, guilt and shame. Terry said, no, it wasn't no accident. They didn't care that he was sick. They did something to cause that baby to be sick. My opinion. If my child is throwing up, I'm right there. Exactly. And promise you this, I won't just put him in the bed and walk away because guess what? Y'all know what happens if you vomit in your sleep and you're on your back. What parent don't know this? They had 6 children. I have 1. They didn't understand that he could have possibly vomited and choked in his sleep, which might have happened. But they have murked this thing up so bad, it wouldn't matter now if that was the truth. Honestly. Let me scroll down, y'all. Y'all know when I get on my rants, I have to go slow with the comments. And just think about all those foster children coming in and out throughout the other boys' lives. That bothers me so much. How the kids don't get asked about this is odd. Exactly. Exactly. And Jacqueline's lawyer is about to really tick me off. And I know she's just doing her little job defending, but the way she tries to discredit, the CPS people that talk to the kids like they did extra. It's like, no, the kids just told them what they told them. And these people said something because it didn't make sense. Like everybody should have been doing all along. This baby sat there today and said, did y'all hear me? That hurt to even read. He was like, but they're coming back. And in his 7, 8, 10-year-old, whichever mind it was, in their mind, those babies are coming back. They don't even know that they're up here really talking about dead children that their parents took from this earth. One day they have to live with that realization too. He's like, yeah, they made spaces in the bunk beds. You made bunk beds for babies that weren't there. Talking about they're coming back. One minute they're with grandma, next minute they went back to their own home, whatever that meant. You're just telling these kids anything because they're children. And you don't expect them to think for themselves or something. And Miss Jacqueline, oh, I need her to do better. If she ever gets the chance to homeschool again, I need her to teach these babies the birth dates and the cities they live in. Because one of them did not know. One of them didn't know his actual birth date. I believe he was like 7. And the other one didn't know the name of the city. Like they were just telling them the desert and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking, if you're homeschooling, my son is homeschooling, I think he's smarter than he ought to be. I'm just saying. I don't think she was on that job either, if you ask me. The whole school room and all that. Maybe they were getting tax write-offs or something, but I don't think they were as invested in having this big, wholesome, happy family as they said they were. Not at all. And Miller Nature, we could all be wrong. No, you were following right. It's just we don't know. That's what I was getting at. If the first baby accidentally or was poisoned or was beaten, whatever, right? Whatever happened there at a totally separate point in life, the other baby possibly fell out of a bed, fell down in the tub. We don't know what the thud was. We don't know. But we got 2 different scenarios, 2 different babies, 2 different time frames. That's why I said one of these incidents should be premeditated. Because shit don't just keep happening. Oops, uh-oh. No. Shandia, I do believe the thump was in Cal City as well. 99% sure that's what we heard for sure. Miller says she's fishing for it right now. That's why I broke them down by day too, so you guys can go back to it without having to sift through hours and hours and hours. Because the weekly way, shoot, I think that was like a 4-hour live, and that's a lot when you're trying to go back and look for something in particular. I'm disappointed in Miss West. Oh, Rhonda. Hey, Rhonda. I'm sorry. Rhonda. That wasn't for you. That was because what I read. Just Gannon makes me. Oh, my heart hurts. It really, really hurts. What happened to that baby? And Letitia. Ooh. Just give me half a second. I could take her out. I promise. Put it on the record. Premeditated. I'll take her ass out. Okay, yes, the thump was in Cal City. Any way you look at it, T and J are guilty for their demise, period. He said it himself. We named them. They're our children. Didn't he say that with his lying ass? Mm-hmm. And we should hold him to that. Jennifer says she's such a piece of work, rude and controlling. I dislike her as a juror. She'd get on my nerves. I'd feel like she'd be trying to overpower me, and I don't like that feeling. You feel this? Yes. Today she really irritated me. I'm like, you're a grandmother. I get it. The other guy is on your son's side, but this man that's talking to you is on your grandkid's side. So you basically have to be, what is it, Switzerland? Just answer the damn questions, lady. You want to find the babies. I love my son to death, but if I was looking for his children, if they were looking, I just got to tell them what I know. If that leads you to guilty, first of all, I'm going to kick your ass because I didn't raise you like that. Second of all, I'll throw a few dollars on your books, get your ass in jail because you're dead wrong. And I'm right or wrong. It's not for me. It don't matter. Blood, it don't matter color, it don't matter your gender. It's right or wrong for me. Period. Grandma didn't have that stance. In California, you do get additional money for homeschool. Aha. That makes sense. That makes sense. Because those babies didn't know what gender was. I'm just saying, I know everybody learns at a different pace, but I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't impressed with her homeschooling. Terry G2G, like I said last night, those children testifying sealed the West's fate. I certainly hope so. I swear I do. I swear I do. The scariest part of a trial is not knowing, though, y'all. That's why it's always that nail-biting moment when we're waiting for, George Floyd or OJ or whatever trial we were watching. Like, we really never know. All it takes is that one juror to just not be convinced. And Alexia Torres Stallings, that heifer, she's going real hard for that reasonable doubt. That's her end game. Oh, God. Hey, Heather, baby. How you doing, love? I have to just hold on to this comment for a minute because, the bump, he did say it sounded like a soap bottle falling in the tub. Good Lord. Whatever they did, they had to get rid of the bodies because the proof is there. Whether it was drowning or beating or poisoning, it's all in the body. Toxicology, stuff we cannot get. At this point, the body might be all bones anyway. Y'all, this is crazy. Where are those babies? Damn, can we find one, if not both? Like, how did they do this? Ugh, how did they do this? Miller Nature said, she thinks if you enroll through a secondary school that's a magnet or a charter, you can apply for up to $3,500 per child for education materials and trips. Wow. I wish they would do that here. My son is homeschooled through Acellus, and they don't pay for shit. I don't get no kickbacks from the state or nothing. But it's very, very good. And it's totally at his pace, which is awesome. Oh my God. I'm very close, but I could be slightly off on the money or how to get it, but it's available in California. I believe it. I knew it had to be some perk somewhere. Had to be. Most people with that many children truthfully don't choose to homeschool. Huh? Me? Jennifer, I'm muted. I missed that. I'm reading. Terry, I just saw your message. Okay. Okay, cool. Jennifer, you can hear me, right? I was laughing at your message, Terry. Seriously. Ooh, Letitia. My gosh. Stood there and lied her ass off and then forced them little ugly tears out of her face. I hope they mop the jail cell with her ass. For real. People like that need the death penalty. I'm sorry if you don't agree with the death penalty, anybody listening, but people like her, they need to go. I don't care about sitting in jail, rotting, eating that nasty ass food, having a girlfriend, getting her hair braided. She don't deserve to have none of that. As shabby as it all is. No. She deserves what he got. Line up a firing squad on her ass. See, that's why they don't want a woman president. It's things that have to change around here. It was temporary, Jennifer. Okay, cool. Yes, Rhonda Ray. Rhonda, I'm sorry, Roy. Rhonda, and this is what I was asking last night. Does anybody in here remember when AV Watchman did the video? He was just boots on the ground and he was chasing down leads and people were sending them. And a couple of the psychics had reached out and one of them sent him on a mission to, it was like a small body of water, a little lake, a creek, a park, something with some water. And they said there was going to be, I'm pretty sure they said an ice chest or a little ice, something like an ice bucket or a cooler. God, I got to look back through his videos. He probably wouldn't even remember at this point, but I am almost positive, even if he didn't find it, like he went to that area and it wasn't there, it still would be like, I got chills. Oh my God. It still would be like, whoa, because I know it was a psychic that gave that tip. Anything about a cooler. I do know that. Big cooler. It would have to be a big cooler. Okay. Oh, perfect. So see, Terry remembers too. The chalk was there. Yep. A red cooler. Lake Ming. I can't remember that. It almost rings a bell, Jennifer, but don't make me lie. Took all they could to lift it. My God. That's okay, Terry. You drive safely, babe. We can read and typo. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. You be careful. That's crazy, Rhonda. I mean, think about it. We've seen, man, bodies have been turning up everywhere. Did you guys see this? No, I didn't put it on here. I gotta um Lord, I can't find my word. My video, the sizing is not right for YouTube when I do them for TikTok, but I did report this story. This baby, oh my God. You're welcome, Terry. It was Lake Ming. Okay. This little girl, you guys, did you guys hear about this a couple days ago? Let me see. Hannah Landon is what I want to say was this heifer's name. The man's girlfriend killed his 6-year-old daughter, beat her, strangled her, and then stuffed her in a bucket. I think he said, they might have said it was like a 10-gallon bucket. I don't know, buckets like that. A bucket, just think of a bucket that painters use. Because I'm tripping like how you get a baby in there. But anyway, whole 6-year-old girl in a bucket, lid on it, put the bucket in a little red wagon, the same kind that kids love and have fun with, put the baby in there and drug it to the front yard of the mother and left the bucket on the dam. Now, see, that's who we need to get our hands on. That one right there, I think I might literally rip her in half. I don't even know my own strength right now. I would rip that lady in half. I'm talking about, visualize with me here. I'm talking about her intestines are coming apart. That's how I feel. Yeah. On the mom's front yard. Surely did. Now that's some cold-hearted crap right there. This pedicide is just getting like out of control. Yeah, Jennifer, let me see if I can make, you know what? No, it's not going to get bigger. I'm going to show you guys these two stories. So I hate to talk about a story and not say their name. It's just not right. And I can't remember all the names because I talk about so many. So we're going to pause on the boys for a moment and we're going to look at these two stories I told you guys about. Hi, Sarah Jean. Hello, hello. Welcome in, sweetie. Sorry, you caught me in the middle of kind of going off a little bit, talking about intestines and stuff. What happened? I don't like those kind of people. Any of them. Okay, let me show you guys. Let me share my screen because the little baby, what was her name? Bella Fontanelle? I'm pretty sure it was Bella. Hold on, y'all. Let me share the entire screen and we'll just go to TikTok. Really, really, really sad. That was Bella. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Say her name, y'all. Oh, I just got like hot all over, like heated, pissed. I can't even think. Okay, let me go to TikTok. Oh my God. Okay, you guys, hold on one second. Let me let the cat in. Oh. Oh. Oh, it's the heaviest door in the world. Okay. I have to mute out for you guys in just a minute. Bella. Okay, I'm going to mute out. Have y'all heard about this? This woman kills her boyfriend's 6-year-old child and then stuffs her in a bucket, puts her in a wagon, wheels her to the mother's house, and leaves the bucket on the front yard.
A neighbor gave us surveillance video showing what appears to be the suspect transporting the bucket. And before we show it to you, you should know that this is unsettling. You can see the woman in the distance. She is pulling a wagon with a bucket inside. The bucket was later found on the lawn of the child's biological mother, who lives nearby.
Earlier today, at around 7:30 a.m., a father walked into the Harahan Police Department to report his child, along with his 43-year-old girlfriend, missing. When he woke up this morning, the 6-year-old and the 43-year-old were not in the house, although an older child was still in the house there. Reported it to the Harahan Police Department. They started investigating it as a missing person. They went to the house, started doing canvases in that neighborhood. The mother of the biological mother of the child lives approximately 1 block away around the corner. So the investigation led to go to that location. Upon arriving at that location, they located best to be able to describe it, maybe a 10-gallon bucket. It's a chlorine bucket, large, a little larger than a 5-gallon bucket on the front lawn of the mother's house. When they opened up that bucket, they found the 6-year-old deceased inside that bucket. Turned into a homicide investigation. Obviously, at that point, our homicide detectives from Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office were called out to the scene. We utilized not only our resources with the Sheriff's Office, but also used the Major Crimes Task Force to come out and try to start canvassing the neighborhood, which our attention was drawn very quickly to the missing girlfriend, who is now missing in action, right? We could not necessarily find her. We were able to find numerous video from different households in the neighboring area, which showed her pulling a wagon down late last night with the bucket inside the back of that wagon. Ended up performing an autopsy today on the child, and we can classify the child's death as a homicide at this point in time. We ended up doing extensive interviews with both the mother and the father, the biological mother and the father. We do not believe that they are involved in any foul play involved with the death of Miss Bella Fontanelle, who is the 6-year-old that is deceased. Those interviews also continue to lead us in our investigation, looking for the suspect in this case, which I have 3 different names. Hannah Landon, which is an American name. She is described as an Asian female. Hannah Landon, H-A-N-N-A-H, last name Landon, L-A-N-D-O-N, also known as Bunak Lim, B-U-N-N-A-K, last name L-I-M, or Bunak Landon, 43-year-old Asian female. As we were doing our best in order to locate her around 2 o'clock this afternoon, we were notified that she was possibly at one of our local hospitals. We were able to locate her at one of the local hospitals. She is now in JPSO custody, where she'll hopefully later be booked with at least 1 count of first-degree murder and obstruction of justice.
The young lady, the decedent, is Bella Fontanelle. That's B-E-L-L-A. Last name is F-O-N-T-E-N-E-L-L-E, 6-year-old female. The manner of death is homicide. She has multiple injuries, and I'm not going to get into details regarding the injuries because this is still a fluid investigation with a lot of interviews that have yet to happen. So those details will come out. We're not, hiding them. We're just delaying the release of those.
The bucket was found in the yard.
It was in the front yard of the biological mother's house. Yeah, so we believe the child was killed at the father's house, which happens to be about a block away, and then transported over to the mother's house, and then taken out of a wagon. Actually, is how it was transported.
Was there issues with the girlfriend and the biological mother? Why was the child placed on the mother's front lawn?
I don't know the answers to that yet.
Do you know if the girlfriend lived with the child?
Yes, the girlfriend lived with the father, the biological father, and I believe they had joint custody, so at both times lived with both parties.
The biological mother find the bucket? Was she home at the time? Or
She was home. Harahan Police Department was there with her, but she was home at the time. That's correct.
was she the one that?
I don't know exactly. I think that bucket was determined by him. I don't know who opened it, to be honest with you.
Can you talk any more about the mental state of the girlfriend?
No, not yet. I mean, again, this has all happened within the last couple hours. Really, she got to our detective bureau while we were here. So let my detectives work for a little bit.
Tuesday night, a neighbour's home surveillance captured this, seemingly a woman pulling a wagon with a bucket in it.
It looked as if somebody was just walking down the street pulling a wagon.
Sheriff Joe Lapinto says inside that bucket was 6-year-old Bella Fontanelle. According to the sheriff, Landon and the father had been together for several years, but reiterated that the father is not a suspect at this time.
And just when you think you have seen and heard it all, bam, I will see you in the comments. Beautiful. What the hell is wrong with people? More pedicide. Parents killing their own children. Listen to this crap.
Police have discovered the body of an 8-year-old girl in a coffin in the back of a U-Haul truck. We are now learning 2 people have been arrested in connection to her death after officials say they traveled from Airway Heights to South Dakota.
Now, according to police, 28-year-old Alexander Kermoyov and his girlfriend, 33-year-old Mandy Miller, traveled from Airway Heights to Mitchell, South Dakota with the body of Miller's 8-year-old adoptive daughter. The two were found at a house in Mitchell with a U-Haul tow behind the trailer. They told police there was a coffin in the back with the body inside. According to police, Miller told them that her daughter died on September 10th. She did not seek medical care, and the two were held onto the body because they, quote, wanted to spend more time with her, and they were afraid that they would get in trouble.
New details following the death of an 8-year-old girl. Police in South Dakota found her body in the back of a U-Haul. Creme 2 obtained court documents today, giving a glimpse into her home life in the months leading up to her death. And we do want to warn you tonight, details of this case may be disturbing to hear.
Well, Jen, this child's mom told police she died in September, and the couple kept the 8-year-old's body in her bed for months, using candles and air fresheners to mask the odor. We've also learned that neighbors and even school counselors raised alarm months before this little girl died. When police in Mitchell, South Dakota opened the back of a U-Haul trailer, they found a coffin. Inside, the body of 8-year-old Mila Miller. She appeared to be malnourished and small for a child her age, according to court documents. Mila was adopted by her aunt, Mandy Miller, and her boyfriend, Alexander Kermoyarov. A search warrant obtained by Creme 2 shows a pattern of abuse. Kermoyarov said Mila would be tied up for several hours each day, and her mom would hit her toes with a hammer if she acted up. According to court documents, Mila had not been in school since January. School counselors called police and even went with them to do a welfare check last spring. No one answered the door then, or the other 4 times law enforcement went to the home between February and March. Neighbors also became suspicious and told police they hadn't seen Mila for several months, but did see her parents often leave the house without her. This August, police were called to do another welfare check, and this time an officer reported seeing Mila sleeping in her room and didn't note any problems. According to court docs, Miller said her daughter died September 10th after choking on a strawberry milkshake. She told police she didn't call 911 because she assumed an ambulance would take too long. When her boyfriend was questioned about the death, he said Mila was sick and didn't mention anything about her choking, according to police. In October, a victim's advocate went to the couple's home in Airway Heights and was chased away by Kermoyarov. According to documents, he then smashed the advocate's car window as they were driving away. The couple kept the 8-year-old's body in her bed for the next 3 months until they bought a coffin and rented a U-Haul this month. They drove the body to Mila's grandmother's home in Mitchell, South Dakota. Police say she called a nearby funeral home saying she wanted her granddaughter to be buried on the Rosebud Sioux tribal ground. The funeral home called the county coroner, who then called police. They went to the grandmother's house where they found the couple, their U-Haul, and Mila's body in the back. A forensic pathologist determined the manner of death was homicide, but the cause of death is still under investigation. Mila had lesions on her wrists and ankles consistent with being tied up, according to police. The couple is now being held in South Dakota without bond, charged with homicide by abuse.
Today, 2 people appeared in court charged with second-degree murder in the death of an 8-year-old girl. Alexander Kermoyarov is dating Mandy Miller, the little girl's mother. According to court documents, the 2 of them mistreated the little girl so badly she died.
Obviously, this is an incredibly serious offense, the murder of a child. This is part of a pattern of abuse that, as you can see from the probable cause affidavit, involved restraining this child's hands and feet with zip ties, which matched up to the ligature marks found by the medical examiner, as well as the zip ties found at the home of the defendants. The child, who was 8 years old, was also clearly malnourished. Again, as indicated by the medical examiner that found she weighed only 26 pounds at the age of 8. So based on the serious nature, Your Honor, that is one of the factors we'd asked you to consider.
Camorvia was ordered held in jail on a $1 million bond. The little girl's mother, Mandy Miller, appeared just after him, and she was also held on $1 million bond. Interestingly, both of their public defenders did not fight the proposed bond amount of $1 million, which is usual. His lawyer said that they may revisit that bond amount as details of the case come to light. Both remain in the Spokane County Jail right now.
Rightfully and thankfully. May she rest in peace, and may they rot in hell. I'll see you in the comments, beautiful people. Crazy stuff, man. Super crazy stuff. And you guys did see the video about, you're welcome, Rhonda. You are welcome. I would say my pleasure, but that's weird. Jennifer, yes, I've heard of QAnon. I had not until somebody brought it to my attention because, of course, my nickname is Q. It's really my initial. But somebody asked me that before. Some weird YouTube troll actually was like, "Are you Q with QAnon?" It was like, I don't know what the hell that is, but I don't know all the details, but I've heard of it. Definitely cultish, I think. What's going on? What's going on? Just asking if we heard about the belief, or you got some deets, girl. Let me know. And I was going to ask you guys if you saw the video about the noise complaint video. Did you guys see that one? Jesus, they caught him today. There was a manhunt for about 4 days for this fool, drunken fool. Wanda needs to be held accountable too and charged with failure to report a death, assisting in covering up a crime, and so much more. I love it, Sarah Jane. I love it. Let's get her in the courtroom tomorrow, please. I need Sarah Jane up there with Eric Smith. That's what I'm talking about. She's got it. Come on, man. Failure to report. That's what we got Sarah Wanda for right now in the Michael Vaughn case. It's just a matter of how law enforcement chooses to deal with certain stuff. If they can prove she knew anything, though, they can prosecute. Wonder if he was a believer. It's very possible. Very possible. Is she? I got to get my updates. Is she? Rhonda? Sarah Wander's out of jail? How? Yeah, I gotta touch back in on so much unfolding, but not enough. I'm looking back through. Oh, so did you guys hear about the noise complaint? I believe that, Daybell, that's another case I got to start from the beginning, but I definitely want to go there. I can't do like pieces. I have to start from the beginning all the way through. It's how my brain works. So that's how I create. And that's why I haven't said a thing about Daybell, because, I have to get into that. And I've wanted to say stuff because I've seen little interviews here and there, and it's just like, what in the hell is going on in this case? Sheesh. Yeah, we're going to go there. There's so many more cases that I have to get to. It's like there's not enough time in the day. So many new ones come up. We can't even, but I do want to let you guys know, everybody that's following along with me and my Amari Nicholson. His anniversary is coming up, the anniversary, unfortunately, of his death. But, and the trial was supposed to start this month or last month. One of them. Either way, they pushed it back again. So now we're looking at September, if you're following the Amari Nicholson case. That is here in Las Vegas, and if those doors are open to the church, I'm going. I'll be there for that for sure. I would go to California if I could go every day. Honest to God, I would. But Amari might even be televised. So in that case, I wouldn't necessarily have to go, but I probably would anyway because I would want to. I'm reading. The state dropped the charges against Sarah. Is that what y'all telling me? Oh, so this weekend I got to do a little dive in on Michael's case. Are you dropped the charges? I'm just not understanding why they would do that. I'm really not understanding. Thank you, Rhonda, because I'll be digging into that to see what. Why would they drop the charges? And then you guys know that Adrian reached out to me in my chat over on TikTok. I invited him to come and speak his piece. He ended up sending me an inbox after that. It's really funny because I did the video and I noted that he reached out and I said to him, tell your side. Whatever you know, if it can help us find this baby, let's get it. That's basically what I said, but not in those words. Y'all know when I'm talking to y'all, we just chilling. But that's basically what I said. And I never read my direct messages on TikTok, but for some reason I went into them last week. Was it TikTok? Yeah, it had to be TikTok. There were message requests. That's what it was. And I'm glad I went because there was a couple of people talking about their family. Jess were you in there, Jess? Anyway, I'm getting off track, y'all. But so he was in there saying that, he felt like I was incriminating him. And I'm like, all I said was, whatever you know, law enforcement wants to know. They literally have you like, you're wanted. So like, go tell them what you know. If you don't talk to me, go tell them. How is that incriminating you? Like, you already incriminated, brother. I'm trying to help you get yourself out of it. And I don't know. I don't think he wrote back. I haven't really gone digging back through my messages, but he popped in. He saw that video about himself because it got a lot of views over on TikTok. And he found his way in those comments to say that he didn't do anything and that he was being set up, that those people were setting him up. So I guess we'll see how that comes out in the wash or the trial or whatever, but that's what he said. Adrian, that would be the black dude because they had a black dude and a white dude. So he's saying that the white dude that they had, I can't remember his name right now, unfortunately, but he's saying that dude set him up. He got nothing to do with it. I'm like, well, you got something to do with it because you've been set up. You know what I mean? Your name is in it. So you at least need to tell us what you know about that dude. And, maybe it'll get you off the hook. But he disappeared. So hopefully law enforcement is working with him. I saw an update. They said that they had talked to both of those guys. But he still seemed like he was trying to clear his name when he was writing to me. And it's like, I ain't the one I can't help you. All I can do is say Michael's name. And if they say you're wanted because you can help to find him, then, well, you're wanted. And that's how I got it. His face is real big on the cover of the video. Wanted. Share. Please share this. We're looking for this guy. That's just what it is. Until you say what you know and help us find this baby, you are involved and just as guilty. I can't believe that. I hope they rearrest her too, Sarah Jean. I can't believe that. But said that she can be recharged and is still the sole suspect. I don't think they have enough evidence to move forward and didn't want to jeopardize that. That makes sense. Damn it. Again, how does this happen? Now, in his case, at least we got some sort of a piece of a trail. Like, I don't even know how we got led to the backyard. But when you think about the boys and you think about Summer Wells, it's like, listen, simple, what is it, science? People can't disappear. Can we all agree on that? So how does it happen? Summer from her own basement, the boys from their own yard. Like, we know the boys is bullshit, but we still have to act like we believe the Summer Wells story. So how could she possibly have just not just vanished from the house, but from Earth and space? It just don't, something ain't right. Her husband told on her. Then that's what I'm saying. That's how I thought they got her. So how did she get off? Wait a minute. Hold on. Well, it's at the top of the freaking. I'm gonna mute out for a minute, and we're gonna watch this, y'all, because I didn't know. I've been so busy. I didn't even hear about this. As soon as my damn computer lets me click on it, I'm gonna come back and mute. Okay. Charges dropped. Unbelievable. All right, I'm gonna play this. We gotta say his name. Michael Vaughn. Jeez Louise. Sorry, y'all. The computer was just like frozen and wouldn't let me come back and unmute. But that's only a 30-second clip. It's not going to tell me a dang thing. So we're going to read this. When is this? This is April 17th. Get his little face up there. Charges against the woman detained in connection to the case of Michael Monkey Vaughn out of Fruitland have been dropped. Sarah Wanda had been charged with failure to notify the police of a death. Wow. Wanda has been in the custody of the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare since a mental health evaluation in mid-November found her incompetent. Status conferences had been held each month until March 27th, when mental health officials and the judge agreed the defendant was competent to proceed. That's the last thing I heard. So how'd she go from that to, okay, she met the requirements, the bond, she was arrested, officials spent more than a week, we know that. Moving on, at the press conference. It doesn't say anything. It just says what we already knew, that they believe 3 other individuals also have information, Adrian being one of them. Okay, no other charges have been filed in the case, though other suspects include Sarah's husband, Stacy Wanda, as well as Adrian Lucien and Brandon Shirtliff, who had been living with the Wanderers at the time of Michael's disappearance. Though charges have been dropped, Wanderer remains in Payette County Jail on separate charges. It is expected she will face charges in an unrelated gun case on April 25th. Whoa. So, were y'all telling me we're back at square one with Michael? I mean, was he in the yard or not? I'm going to need y'all to do better with this. Talking to law enforcement at this point. Like, what was he there or not? Or do we just forget all that happened? Scratch that. She was just playing. I'm confused. I don't want double jeopardy either, Wanda. So like I said, Adrian was all in the comments, so he was still free at the time. So who? I don't understand what they need. And I go back to all the cameras and surveillance we got. Like, how are these people getting away? Nobody should be able to really do anything. Like, you could barely scratch your butt in public without somebody catching it on cell phone or CCTV, traffic cam. But we can't seem to put nothing together. We can't lose this lead. It's all we got with Michael. Thank you so much, Rhonda. I did not know that. I didn't see the answer. I asked you guys, did you see? We had 2 manhunts. Well, actually, we've had at least 3 because there was a prison break in Mississippi as well. Five of them, I believe it was, got out. They was out. One of them was found dead in New Orleans, like they got gone from the prison. So that manhunt, I believe, is still going for some of them. I have to check up. Then we had the manhunt in Atlanta today. He shot 5 women, and we don't know why, but they finally caught him. And then we had the Texas manhunt. That was the one I called, my brain's scrambling up. The one I called noise complaint. So this man went over to his neighbor's house. Well, he was shooting his gun in Texas. I guess they do this out in his yard. They did find Dion, Rhonda. They didn't say where. At least when I updated at about 6 o'clock, they didn't say where, but they definitely had him in custody. So this man's outside shooting the gun in his yard, and they say he always did it, but this night he was a little too close to the house or something. So the husband goes out and asks him, "Can you please, stop doing your shooting because it's keeping the baby awake?" The man, who they said was drunk, who was shooting an AK, took his AK into their home. He was trying to chase down the husband, who was ducking and dodging through the house. So the man just went through the house shooting up family members. He shot 5 people, and the youngest one was 8 in this case, Francisco Oropeza. And they just found him today, hiding in a closet. His wife had been helping him, feeding him. Yeah. Because they asked him to stop shooting his gun because it was keeping the baby awake. Yeah. There were 10 people in the house, Sarah Jean, so 5 of them got real lucky. Actually, they didn't even get lucky because, let me just show you guys the video because I could just share it. The grown-ups had thrown themselves on top of the babies, Jennifer. So at least 3 of the children came out super bloody because they had been protected by the adults who were shot to death. Crazy. Let me show you the video. I know, Jennifer, but we live in the real world out here. We talk about it. Crazy. You can't even ask your neighbor to keep it down no more. Can't turn around in the wrong driveway. Ooh, can't knock on the wrong door. Y'all just better sit down. Hey, beautiful people. I need your help. I need my prayer warriors and my share warriors on this one, okay? The suspect is still on the loose. Let's get into this. 5 dead in Texas execution-style shooting. Suspect armed with an AR-15 is on the loose. 5 people are dead after being shot in a Texas home by a suspect armed with an AR-15 style rifle in a horrific series of execution-style shootings, police said. A manhunt is currently underway for the suspect, identified by police as 39-year-old Francisco Oropeza, according to the ABC station KTRK in Houston. A judge has issued an arrest warrant for Oropeza and signed a $5 million bond. Authorities believe Oropeza left by walking or on a bicycle and is currently within a 2-mile radius of the scene. There's been an update since this article came out, and they don't believe he's still in the area. Police said the incident occurred at 11:31 p.m. local time on Friday, when officials from the San Jacinto County Sheriff's Office received a call about harassment in the town of Cleveland, about 55 miles north of Houston. When authorities arrived at the location, they found several victims shot at the property, police said. 3 of the deceased were females and 2 were males, including the youngest, an 8-year-old boy. 2 female victims were discovered in the bedroom lying on top of 2 surviving children, authorities told ABC News. 3 minors were located uninjured but covered in blood. They were transported to a local hospital. Police say they believe the massacre occurred after neighbors asked the suspect to stop shooting his gun in the front yard because there was a baby trying to sleep. My understanding is that the victims, they came over to the fence and said, "Hey, could you not do your shooting out in the front yard? We have a baby that's trying to go to sleep." And he had been drinking and says, "I'll do what I want to do in my front yard." San Jacinto County Sheriff Greg Capers told KTRK. Capers told KTRK the case went from harassment to a shooting very quickly. He said the authorities believe some of the victims were trying to shield their children with bodies found on top of children who were unharmed. Authorities said Oropeza is armed with an AR-style 15 rifle and was believed to be intoxicated. Deputies described Oropeza as a Hispanic man who is 5'8". He was last seen wearing jeans, a black shirt, and work boots. Investigators said he has a goatee and short black hair. Share.
This is the suspect, 39-year-old Francisco Oropeza. Now, he's a suspect wanted for 5 counts of murder. The sheriff says there is a history at this home with the suspect, last night being one of the most recent.
When you think about this desperate search right now, the sheriff's department does tell us they do have an ID from the man who's involved in the shooting. They talked to his wife. They believe he's about 12 miles away from the shooting scene in a wooded area. They're chasing him down, but take a listen to the sheriff.
When they got here, they found 4 people deceased inside of the residence, and there was an 8-year-old that had been shot. Everybody that was shot from the neck up, almost execution style. We know him by name, date of birth. We've got his Mexican consulate card. Plus, there was a Ring doorbell on the victim's house that we actually captured him coming up to the front door with the weapon.
No, were you entertained? Of course not. You were informed. And that's what we do here. So, don't just watch this video. Please share. Say something. Tell somebody. You might save a life. I'll see you in the comments, beautiful people. Hey, beautiful people. I need your
He is a threat to the community, and we need the community's help to hopefully locate him soon and take him off the streets tonight. But however, I will say this, we do not ask the community to take the matters into their own hands. Please call 911 if you happen to see this individual out there.
Here is the suspect, 38-year-old Francisco Oropeza. Authorities initially believed he was within a few miles of the crime scene in San Jacinto County near Cleveland, but they recovered a cell phone and clothing and now say he could be anywhere. Oropeza allegedly opened fire inside a neighbor's home after they had complained about the noise from gunshots. Now, these are the names of the 5 people who lost their lives, according to family members. 25-year-old Sonia Argentina Guzman Talbot, 21-year-old Diana Velasquez Alvarado, 31-year-old Obdulio Molina Rivera, 18-year-old Josue Jonathan Caceres, and Daniel Enrique Lasso Guzman, just 8 years old.
Tom, truly just heartbreaking. We're at the victim's home right now where more family members have arrived, along with professionals they've hired to help clean up after the attack.
Oh my God.
An unspeakable act of violence. Barbie dolls and baby bottles strewn among the bloodshed. I can't believe what he did, Wilson Garcia tells us in Spanish. He's talking about his next-door neighbor, Francisco Oropeza, accused of murdering 5 of Garcia's loved ones inside his family home Friday night and running off, prompting a massive manhunt. Garcia tells us his wife, Sonia Argentina Guzman Taibat, and 8-year-old stepson, Daniel Enrique Lazo Guzman, are among the dead. Garcia says the man never had any problems before this. It all started when he confronted Oropeza for shooting his AR-15 closer to the family's home than usual, scaring his crying newborn son. Oropeza, in turn, told Garcia, "This is my property. I can shoot wherever I want." Garcia said he was calling police and headed back to his home, where he says Oropeza followed him, first shooting his wife in the doorway, then chasing after him. Unable to catch up, he went room to room, killing his family.
Everybody that was shot from the neck up, almost execution style.
Sure. Oh my God. He's still up.
And the manhunt still very much underway this evening. We actually just heard 2 flashbangs off in the distance. Law enforcement telling us they've doubled their search radius this evening. We know the gunman ditched his clothes along with his cell phone.
If you haven't shared this story yet, now is the time.
Start with the dramatic end of a days-long manhunt for a suspected killer. We're talking about 38-year-old Francisco Oropeza, who was captured in a town called Cut and Shoot, Texas last night after police responded to a tip. He was found hiding in a closet less than 20 miles away from where he allegedly shot and killed 5 people.
Now officials say they have made several more arrests connected to this case, including one person police say is Oropeza's wife. She's being held on a charge of hindering arrest of a known felon.
Yeah, Vicky, so this is the actual house where that arrest took place. We know that the FBI said that they got a tip late yesterday evening, and a little over an hour later, they had arrested him and put him in custody. We know that U.S. Marshals, the Texas Department of Public Safety, and a Border Patrol tactical unit were all involved in this arrest. They searched this home and ultimately found the suspect, Oropeza, hiding in a closet under laundry. They said that there was some resistance, and they also had K9 dogs here, I should mention, but that the suspect was feet from hiding out just a few feet from where they lived. And I should note, as it relates to this 4-day manhunt, officials confirmed earlier today that on Monday, when there was that suspected sighting and there were schools that were shut down throughout this area, that they did actually have the suspect in their sights. They had found him running in some area, but they lost track of him and were able to locate him again thanks to that tip. The FBI saying that that tipster displayed bravery and courage in helping to bring this suspect into custody.
Priscilla, we know that the law enforcement there took other people into custody as well, Oropeza's wife being one of the detainees. Who else do they have in custody right now? What are they saying about them?
That other person was, the name has been pronounced as Domingo Castillo. We don't have the exact spelling or information yet, but police say that right now he is being held on possession of marijuana, but that they believe that he helped Oropeza to escape the scene of the crime the night that all of this happened on Friday night. And as you mentioned, Oropeza's wife, as officials have referred to her, Divimara Nava, is also been charged, and she faces a felony charge for hindering apprehension of a known felon. They believe that she was providing him food and clothing, and also that she may have helped to arrange that transportation to get him out of the neighborhood on Friday night.
Imagine being a big, bad, tough guy and busting into your neighbor's home and shooting up 5 people, including an 8-year-old, and then being reduced to just a little mouse hiding in the closet, praying they don't find you. I love that for him. And his wife, who was arrested for aiding and abetting, basically. How dare she? And the guy who helped him get away. Yep, we got them all. Manhunt for suspect in Texas massacre ends in arrest. Justice. Crazy stuff, y'all. I can barely keep up, with the news. My notifications just look like death and destruction because my algorithm on my phone now is completely in tune, and it's like it don't even send me the good stuff. I have to search for happy stories, but that's how I like it because I need to know what's going on. We all need to know. Yeah, she's arrested, Rhonda. She's so arrested. She definitely is going down. They know for a fact she was giving him food and stuff. Like, lady, he just gunned down 5 people. I get death do us part, but give me a freaking break. You gotta draw the line somewhere. Jennifer. So TikTok is so weird. You can follow up to 10,000 people. They limit you. That's why I had to go over there real quick and follow you back. And Sarah, I was going to ask you, am I following you back? And what's your name if on there? Is it Sarah? Well, if I'm following you back, it don't matter. I don't have to. But if I'm not, let me know because I have some space. Because like Jennifer said, I'm almost at 10,000. At 10,000, you can't follow anybody else. I don't know why they do it like that. But you can always unfollow people and make room. Or every so often, TikTok goes through and cleans out your people so they get rid of the banned accounts and stuff. So you'll free up, or they'll free up about 20 slots. Those are the people that you can follow. So like if I want to follow you, Jennifer, if I hit that 10,000 and you follow me, I can't follow you back. I don't know why they do that. But the amount of people who can actually follow you, as far as I know, if there's a limit on that, it's like in the millions. So there's no cap on that, thank goodness. But it does suck because I actually have, 18 point something thousand people following me, and I can only follow 10,000 of them back no matter what. And y'all know I try to give. So I would love to follow all of them back, but it only lets you do 10K. It's so weird. Man, listen, Rhonda. In my opinion, she should do life like him. Because, okay, that's harsh. That's really harsh. But I'm just saying, you had his back after he murdered 5 people, including a child, and would have killed more if the women hadn't have jumped on top of those kids. So I just want her to get like something more. 10 years is like, and she probably won't even do that, you know? That's what sucks. These people, they do this stuff, and she didn't do the big crime, but they do it, they help, whatever, and they get that little slap on the wrist, and that's why people keep doing stuff. And the stuff they're doing is getting worse because there is no real punishment. It's like worst case scenario, you'll spend the rest of your life in prison. People don't care about that anymore. They don't. Like I said, you get free meals, a girlfriend or a boyfriend. The COs are bringing in the drugs. It's heaven in there for some of them when they should be in hell. So, Sarah Jean. Okay, so do me a favor, Sarah. Check and let me know. Ow. You don't have to do it tonight or now, but let me know because I want to follow you back. I really do try to follow people back especially that I know and that I interact with. But if I don't know your TikTok name, I just accept people as they come, and it's kind of like first come, first serve because they cap you. Do you get monetized for TikTok after so many followers or views? I'm not familiar. Why don't I put this up? Y'all like, what is she talking about? All right, here we go, Jennifer. Do you get monetized for TikTok after so many followers or views? I'm not familiar, just curious. But if it's a rude question, don't answer. No, girl, not at all. You do, for sure. I've been monetized for a long time. Gosh, I can't. Oh, I think 10,000. Yeah, I'm almost positive. 10,000. Once you hit 10,000 followers, people following you, you can join their creator. Lord have mercy, I can't think of the name of it. It's like Creator Marketplace. And it's basically where you start to work on brand deals for, people that want you to basically run an ad. So when you see some of your favorite YouTubers or whatever doing their video and they got to stop for 30 seconds and tell you about this product, well, they get paid for that. So that's what the Creator Marketplace opens up. And then TikTok pays you pennies on the dollar, honey. YouTube is way better as far as for the views themselves. You don't really get anything from TikTok like that. People can gift you just like the super chat. So you got that same option over there. And it really helps if you go live, which I don't do on TikTok really. I think I did it like twice. Rhonda, don't follow you. You just watch. Okay. If you say so now. Is your name Rhonda? I looked for you actually when I went in there. I didn't see. You must have a different name. Because I do like to follow my people back. It's okay. Watch and hit the share button though. You have to share it. If all we do is sit here and talk about it, y'all, we are wasting our breath. I can't say it enough. You got to tell somebody about it. You got to feel a fire inside of you on your lunch break tomorrow to say, have you heard about this? The little girl in the, it's morbid, yes, but people need to know because a lot of times the people that are doing this stuff is the people close to people. So if you don't even think that it's a possibility, you might not even see you sleeping with the enemy. I'm not saying everybody should be all paranoid and nervous, but side eye, side eye everybody these days. Sheesh. Rhonda, that's it. Watch and share. That's all I ask. And say hey every now and then, I guess. I ask for one more thing. But I mean, that's what it's all about. It's sharing the information and the awareness, getting the stories out there, saying people's names. Some people, it's like, I don't want them to just die. And it's like they never existed. So some of the videos, I mean, not all of them get thousands of views. Some of them get hundreds of thousands of views. It just depends on what people are interested in. But I like to make sure that I get as many stories out as possible about as many people as possible. And you never know, like, it's nothing for me to go into a comment and see, like, I ran a story and I got to bring that over here. This man was driving and he was just following his GPS, and the GPS, it didn't know that the road was out. And real life story. And he just went straight off sort of a cliff, if you will. The freeway just ended on him while he's driving. And I ran across this story on, I don't know, something I watch on YouTube. And I was just like, oh my God. It was one of those things like, I got to tell somebody. It's the whole reason this whole channel exists, because I got to tell somebody. So I went and put it on TikTok, and oh man, one day I'm looking at the comments, and one of the comments said, that was my husband. And I'm like, see, this is why I do this. You know what I mean? Like, these are somebody. And it's so easy to just be another news story. You know, you get your 5 minutes of fame and then it's on to the next one. Hey, JB, you know, so that kind of stuff. Oh, man, really, really, it's so sad, Rhonda. I have to redo that video because the audio on it, I don't like it. I recorded it on my tablet, and that's something that bothers me. It's still, a lot of people were able to view it and they got the point, but I like to put it out where it's like, you need to hear everything, see everything, take it in, feel it in your heart and soul. Because we need compassion back in this world, because it is gone. Was it 2 weeks ago, y'all? Did you hear? A little boy got shot in his head for knocking on the wrong door. Crazy. Oh, what did I miss something? Let me go back. Oh, you just refollowed Sarah. Let me go up. See, when I start talking, I told y'all other comments, I look away for a minute. Let me go check right now. Around the world. Missing children around the world. Okay. Beautiful. Definitely should be following you. Let's see. Oh, I clicked on the wrong button. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, gotcha. I thought I already clicked on you, Jennifer. What happened? That's weird. I just did it again, Jennifer, so. Okay, let me see. Let's see. And I got you, Sarah. I got both of them. We in like Flynn. Teach strange behavior, not stranger danger. Okay, let me see. I love it, Jennifer. Frequently, it's not a stranger. That's true. Wait a minute. I'm putting them together. Teach strange behavior, not stranger danger. Okay, I get it. Yeah. She's saying teach the kids that to look out for the strange behaviors, because the behaviors can come from somebody you know. It doesn't have to be a stranger. That's what I was saying. A lot of times it's somebody close to you. You know, this last baby in the casket in the U-Haul was adopted by her auntie. So your auntie becomes your mom, and then her and her boyfriend murder you? I'm just saying, like, it's real close to home. So yeah, stranger danger. I mean, that's a thing too. That's what's so bad about it. We got to worry about all of it. You really got to be worried everywhere you go now. And even at home. Don't tell your neighbor to stop shooting his gun, okay? Just let him shoot. Take a chance that the stray bullet's going to kill you. Ain't that crazy? This is what we got to do. Because if we ask them politely to stop shooting and don't wake the baby, they might shoot our whole damn house up. The question is, why can he have a AR, AK, A whatever in his front yard in the first place? But don't nobody want to talk about the gun control. Now we need them more than ever at the same time. But people aren't being responsible. They said that a long time ago. That used to be a slogan. Was it the 90s? Guns don't kill people. Stupid people with guns kill people. It's really not the gun's fault, but the gun's fault. But look at the guns they've let get on our streets. And you can just walk around. I could pull up a YouTube video right now. You can just walk around town with your AK or AR, whichever one they are. I watched the whole video. My mouth was just open. The cop is talking to this guy. And he's like, the cop actually wanted to know, hey, what you doing? Where you going? Why would you be out here like this? And the guy was giving him lip. Like, because it's my right. Why not? And it's like, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's a big ass rifle. It's scary. And guess what? You could just start firing at any time. But he couldn't say that. The cop couldn't say that to him. He couldn't do anything to that man. It was his American right. And he had to just walk away and leave that man on the street with that big ass gun. Now, if he'd had to return in a few minutes to a mass shooting, well, now there's a crime. That's weird. That's really weird. And now I just got to your response, Miller. So I figured it out. I was right. That's what you were saying. I get it. And y'all already on it. Here's the response. I was way up in the comments just talking. Well, we're all on the same page. Good. Hey, Opal. Opal's in the house. Y'all have to, if you haven't joined the TikTok, I do put out a lot more stuff over there just because, you know, TikTok, it's so quick and the short segments are really good for that. I'm trying to figure out how to bring them here. Do I want to loop them all together? I don't know. Because, you know, I like to share them with y'all too, but putting out 2 to 10-minute videos has not ever really been my thing on YouTube. So it's not really something I think most of my subscribers are into. And yeah, so we don't like that. We like to hang out and talk and see everything. We want all the details and like only a percentage of the, you know, the drama. We'll take a little bit. We're human. But for the most part, yeah, we don't. It's a very safe, happy place over here, even though we go really, really dark. All in an attempt to spread awareness. That's it. And say their names. Give them one last chance to be heard and seen because somebody just snatched their life away and they didn't get a chance. That's how I see it. So I will find one more story on this TikTok for you guys, and then I will be back tomorrow. I'm not going to say a time. I've been doing it around 6:30, but tonight I did it later, and a lot more of you guys were able to make it. So I think I'm going to start doing them a little later because I really want y'all to get in here. But in the Orrin and Orson West playlist, each day of the trial is there. It's broken down. So you can definitely go back in there and watch them. You don't have to go through all of this that we doing now unless you want to. Some people really like them. They said they replay the lives while they're cleaning up and stuff. So you could do that. I will, Miller Nature. That's what I meant to tell you earlier. Can you email me? And it's just missqsnews@gmail.com. I changed it from what's on my... The other one works too, but this one is like less full, so I actually see stuff coming. It was getting crazy. Yes, absolutely, I will. I wanted to tell you that when you mentioned them earlier. And that's really, you guys, that's what I want to do. So spread the word. I did have a couple of people. Oh, Oppo. Yeah, because you just got here. I'm sorry. A couple of people in my TikTok message request that were, you know, saying, hey, my kid or my family member. And yes, I will absolutely. If you have any like news footage already, you can email it to me. If you don't, just give me their name. I will go digging. Just have to bear with me because I got like so many cases in my head. And then I do try to keep up with the current events. I can't help but keep up with them. So it'll be blended in, but sooner than later, for sure. I promise you. So send me what you got. And let me see. I'm going to see what story have I not told you guys about tonight? I'll tell you what. How about this? I have a story. I call it a story of survival. Hold on. All right. I will send you guys to bed on a good note. Well, let me see, Opal. My neighbor's house started, on fire? Oh, no. Oh, no. Dang it. Did you just get electricity back on? Or are you just using your phone battery? What's left of it? Oh, my God. They're safe, but the house is a complete loss. Man, that sucks. I had an auntie that had a fire before. I mean, just, it seems so devastating. I can't imagine just losing everything. Oh, that's scary. Look, I'm checking right now. Okay, my candles out, my incense out. Okay. Jeez, God bless them. And I'm glad they're all right. Perfect, Miller. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome sauce. Yes, I was already like shivering when I read that. I think you said that the grandmother did this. Miller Nature, is that what you told me? Rhonda, good night and good morning, everyone. Thank you, baby. Thank you. I'll see you again. I'll be back tomorrow night. We're gonna do this every evening that they have the trial. I'm trying to figure out the best time, but I think a little bit later is better. But I'm gonna do it every day. Chop it up, get it off our chest, because I know those of us that are listening to it at home, like myself, we're yelling at the screen and we want to tell somebody something. And then those of you that aren't listening to it, you're just in the dark completely. And you might be seeing little clips or hearing people come on and tell you about what happened. To me, there's nothing like the paperwork. You can go through all my playlists. I'm going to get into some documentation because I like to read and understand. And that's how I process and visualize things. So I figured that just reading the minutes to you guys would be the best way of like taking you to court. And then that's why we chop it up afterwards so we can, I don't put any of my thoughts into those minutes, my feelings, and that's tough. But I know when I get to chat, I'll be able to chop it up with my people and get it off my chest. So that's what we're going to do this whole trial. And any other trial that comes along that I can be a part of that I've covered for sure. Like Amari, which again, they pushed it back to September. Amari Nicholson. And for sure, we'll be following that. Jennifer said, do you mind if I say the name of someone who... No, absolutely not. You know I don't do that, Jennifer. It's all love. We spreading the same word. Please, help yourself. You can drop the link. Are you Ahmad? I'm not on my phone. I can't tell. Aren't you Ahmad? Lawyer Mystery Maven. Oh, I need the link to them. I've never even heard of them. And that's just because I don't be out like that. I'm sure they're amazing. You don't have the link. What is it? Lawyer Mystery Maven. Let me look it up. I'll get it for us right now. Yep. Oh, I'm bummed out about Sarah Wander, though. Damn. I don't understand how they could drop the job. So did she do it or not? Like, you dropped the charges. The charges was failure to report Aubrey. Oh, shoot, Aubrey. I was supposed to check my messages days ago. You're the best. Thank you. Aubrey just sent me the link. Thank you, because I was talking and typing way too slow. You're the best. Thank you. And I have not been in my messenger. I know you see that. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, but I really... Oh, here we go. I'm in here now. What does it say? If you reply, then Aubrey will be able to call and see your info. Well, so we're not friends? What is this thing saying to me? Aubrey. Let me copy this and respond, because that's weird. It's talking like we were never connected. Wow, we were not. We are friends. You're so funny. Sorry, y'all. I'll rewriting me. But everything that you sent me just popped up when I responded to your message. I couldn't see any of those thumbnails. That's weird. That's really weird. Okay. All right. I got it. Okay, perfect. Yes, Duty Ron. I do know about Mr. Duty Ron. And then I just put the link in right here. Let me show these. Okay. Lawyer Mystery Maven. I will sub up myself. Yeah, Facebook is weird. That was crazy. I didn't see anything. Uh-oh. I see somebody saying goodnight to Sarah Jean. Good night, Sarah. You're whooped. And your son's 15th birthday. Oh, so you did. Oh, she might be gone. I want to know if she already did the birthday or she got to do it today. I'm so nosy. Okay, Jennifer. She's amazing. We got it. We got her right there. Good night, Sarah Jean. Okay. Oh, wait, Miller, you answered my question here. Still no electricity. You got battery packs and needed my cue time. You're so sweet. Aw, my opal. Oh, my God. But you need some lights. You out kind of in the country a little bit, right? Like not country, but I thought you had some like open land going on when we talked. Maybe I'm tripping. 2 babies on 2 occasions in less than a year after the mom gave her a second chance. Yeah, I'm all over it. And I saw the email notification too. If listen, don't hesitate to remind me. I don't take it personal at all. You can say their names every time you see me. Just hashtag, put in the chat. The reminders are good for me. I don't mind. My job, let me see what you say here. My jaw was on the floor hearing that baby saying the 4 boys were spanked with the metal of the belt until bloody. Yeah. And they spanked the blood parts. And the prosecutor, I'm sorry, the defense tried to, Alexia, she tried to, well, the only thing she could really say about that was we don't know when. We don't know when that was. You didn't confirm with them the time frame, did you? And it was like, who would, what? No, who cared? Like, who gave a damn? Did you hear what she just said? I didn't know that. Up until today, I actually didn't, we didn't know. We were talking about it last night, and I can't remember who said it. Somebody said they felt like Jacqueline was probably the more aggressive one, and Trezell was not, basically. And now today, and it had sounded like that. The kids were answering the other day like, no, he spanks us all, and just like a normal thing, no big deal. But what we heard from that interview, that was like, no, that was child abuse. There's no like, that was child abuse. Marks or no marks. You don't beat the kid with the buckle of the belt. Hell, you can damn near, you can't even whoop a kid with a belt, period, anymore. It's almost illegal to touch them. But the buckle? That's why I said yesterday, these attorneys, they get on my nerves, even though they're doing their job. It's like, lady, for real. Oh, okay. Daughter's 15th birthday as of midnight? Oh, 2 birthdays. That is so cute. Yeah, definitely child abuse, for sure. So I guess either way, they need to, even if, well, my thought today was those kids ain't coming back. It's like, I feel like about the Wells, it's like, I don't think they're getting them back. If they were to come home, which I don't see that either, but I don't think those kids are going back to that home. then they say, yeah, no. Nope. And Miller Nature, nope. Just like with the boys. No. One time, maybe an accident, but I need the body. Because if it's an accident, there should be nothing in the world keeping you from having this body right here. When you call 911, see, that's the other part. There was no calling of a 911. So that rules out your accident, because that's what you do when you have an accident. That didn't happen. Yeah, that buckle, nah. There's something up with that. Like, I mean, if you hitting them with buckles, you could, listen, who knows what you could do. But what I really want to know, and I hope we find out before this trial is over, is, well, two things. I wanted to say what happened to the boys, but we still want to know, where are the boys? We literally still want to know. And they are in trial. Crazy. On trial, I guess. LaKendra, hey. Hey, LaKendra, slipping in here. What time is it where y'all at? Y'all must be, no, I want to say East Coast, but then that would be even later. Somebody, Rhonda must have been, I think, well, she could have been in the States. She said good night and good morning. Hey, LaKendra. The first baby wandered off and drowned. And she left the second in a car on a 90-degree day for hours. I'm sorry, what was the accident? That's negligence. Both times. Because why are you letting your baby wander off near a body of water or anything else? What? Are you, LaKendra? Cut it out. Okay. So we got to have lunch or something. That would be really cool. How long are you going to be here? And we're going to have to exchange info, right? Like an email or something. Cut it out. Yeah, this is BS. Oh my God, Miller Nature. Yeah, I will look at that tomorrow, because if I get started, I won't sleep. They didn't charge her the first time, and the mom had to fight for her to be charged the second time. This is grandma again, right? I know I asked you before, but maybe I'm in shock. What? Not live here? Always? You haven't always lived here, have you? Girl, how did I not know that? How did I not know that? I've been here since 1999. Crazy. I love it. Okay, cool. Good to know. That's crazy. Yes, the grandma via the mom. Wow. These grandmas are just worthless out here these days, some of them. Like, for real. Y'all heard me earlier. I was telling you, my mom, she's still old school. You're not, where her grandbaby's at? She want a hug and a kiss. She got candy. She's that grandma. And we're losing those. You know what? Back when I just went over this baby's story the other day. Can't call her name right now. It might have been Jelly. The grandmother helped the mom bury the baby in the backyard. Covered it up. Like, who does that? What kind of grandma? That's when I knew something. I even said it in the video a couple of years ago. I'm like, we have lost grandmas. Like, it's a wrap. First baby was sleeping while the no. What? Oh my God. How could she possibly get off? Jennifer says she watched the case briefly. It's disturbing for sure. The grandma is not innocent. She's something else. I'm trying to be respectful. Jennifer, baby, you are always so respectful. So for you to even say that, I want to cuss for you. I wish I knew what you was going to say. Because you know me, I'm a cuss every once in a while. Because sometimes they deserve it. For real. Exactly. Because people are so evil. They lucky all I can do is cuss, you know? Only facing 35 years, 12 minimum. Wow. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So what's to discourage somebody from doing that? Y'all notice these parents, like, it's not a big deal anymore. They have a kid, they can't afford it, they're stressed out, they just kill them. It's just as casually as I just let it slip off my tongue. They just kill them. That's it. That's the plan now. And then they're forcing people to not have abortions. I'm not even gonna get into the whole shebang about how I feel about it, but I will say an unwanted child is a form of filicide. So that baby is destined for failure automatically. Yes, Sailor Mouth, Jennifer. I've never seen you get nasty. Look, Kendra, yes. We are definitely going to have us some lunch, honey. Yes, yes, yes. You didn't know either? I don't talk about it too much. That's because people are nosy. You know what I'm saying? But because of the Amari case, a lot of my subscribers know. But I really don't just talk about it or highlight it. Excuse me. Now, why do you think? Tell me, LaKendra, why do you think she did the Zoom from her son's house? That's right. She was in D.C. That's right. So funny. When I first read that line, I had to redo it. I said, I remember it like yesterday because it almost was. But the line said, Wanda West says she's in Washington, D.C. She's at her son's house. And when I read it, I said she's at her son's house. And I was like, ooh. Ew. Like, what son is that? Is that the one that was running with the NAACP and they put up the money? And I'm going to just keep my opinion to myself. Yes, absolutely. Amari was the first story that I brought to YouTube over on my boy Chris Thorne's show. I went down to the Emerald Suites and walked the crime scene and everything, girl. So sad. I sure was. Oh, you still got your Amari stickers. Yeah, his anniversary is around the corner. That's why I wanted them to start this trial. I'm ready to see this old nappy-headed child abuser, murderer get what he deserves, but they keep pushing the trial back. His defense says they need more time. For what? He literally drew a map. And I'm not like, I know we use that word literally now for fun. I'm literally using the word. He drew a raggedy ass map and with a stick man for where the baby was laying. After he lied about it, of course. So yeah, what you need more time for? I just cracked the whole case. You're welcome. Jamal's house? Yeah, see, I got a bad vibe. Like I said. I'm going to take a page from Jennifer's book and I'm going to be respectful. At least till this trial is over. He got a look about him. Damn it. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, let's see here. I'm sorry. You cut those babies off at the root. You deserve 4 lifetimes for the babies and their chance to have full life, including a chance to have children. I respect that. what I'm saying is, if they were having them willingly and are murdering them because of whatever, imagine having a baby unwillingly from the jump. I'm just saying the numbers could surely rise. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, friend. Wow. Wait, she what? What happened? Wanda was in California last week for the in-person visits with the 4 boys. Okay, she moving around. Washington, from Cali to DC. But she made sure to see those boys. Listen, I think the ultimate goal is definitely don't incriminate my son. I could be wrong. She sounds like she's telling what's happened, but there's definitely a level of. There was one question in particular, is the reason why I'm saying this, and it's hard for you to really hear it if you're just hearing the minutes. But from listening to the trial, there was a part in particular where she had a open door to just shut it down. That no, those boys weren't around. Period. Leave it at that. Hey, don't kill the messenger, but no, they weren't. But the way she answered this particular question was, well, they could have been out there in the van. They didn't come in. Everybody came in the house. Everybody came in. But did you see Orrin and Orson? Well, no, but I mean, I ain't saying that they weren't there, but they could have been out in the van. I didn't look in the van. Like, she gave him that as scapegoat. When it's like, what? Why in the hell would everybody come in and see grandma and not bring the 2 smallest grandbabies? Wanda West, make it make sense. She didn't make it make sense today. She really didn't. Nope, me either. Definitely not a I'm being honest vibe at all. Just, I'm going to tell you the absolute bare minimum because I don't want to be accused of incriminating my son. Instead of, I want to find these children, it's, I don't want to incriminate my son. That's the vibe I'm getting. And that sucks as a grandma. Go back up, y'all. I've been jumping around in my comments. I ain't meaning to be skipping. OMG is bullish. She was with the other boys the day before, and most likely the day of them going on the stand. What the fuck? Exactly. Because I'm telling you, they sound these kids were so okay. In the interview today, the CPS forensic interviewer, when they replayed that in court, and I love that they had it turned up nice and loud because we could hear everything. She was clear with them, if you don't understand something, just ask me and I'll try to say it in a way where hopefully you'll be able to understand it. So then she'd say, what's your gender? And the kid would say, well, what you mean gender? She said, do you know what gender means? And they say, no. She said, well, gender means whether you're a boy or a girl or a male or a female. And the kid said, okay. She said, okay, so now if I ask you what your gender is, what would you say? And the one kid caught on to it really quick. Oh, I'm a boy, no problem. And we're able to, right? This was in the forensic interview way back in December 2020. And during the whole interview, they still never quite, they didn't get it the way they got it in court after, I think, seeing grandma, okay? When she told them that, if you don't understand, just say I don't understand. If you don't know, just say I don't know. They weren't doing that in the interview after being directly told to do that if they needed to. But in the courtroom the other day, oh man, they were swift with the, I don't remember. It was almost like somebody told them, hey, that's what you say. I don't know. I could be wrong. They said that nobody coached them. She asked them that. But it sounded coached. Is what it is. Yes, Opal. Ugh. I'm gonna rerun his story, the 2-hour live, with everything this month, since it is his month. That was just crazy. It's crazy being that close to the scenes. It's something I like to do though. Let's see. So why does she get to do Zoom now? It's wrong in my opinion. I don't know. I guess because I thought maybe just because she was out of town. I thought, but this was her first day on, so I don't know. If she comes back on the stand and she's in California via Zoom, that would be interesting. I don't think Philip did Zoom. I'm trying to remember the notes. I don't think so. Yep. That's what she said, Jennifer. She hadn't seen him since February of 2020. But she had a chance to. That's what I was saying earlier. When they came to get her to go to the credit union, she had a chance to see those babies, allegedly. And they told her the babies were asleep in the back of the van, and she got her ass in the back, not the back, but the back behind them. Nor did she said she got in the passenger seat, as a matter of fact. And I think what they did, kind of like they ran a football play on her. So somebody got in the back seat, like behind her, and put her in the front, because it's a lot harder to look for babies if you way up front in the passenger seat. They're going to keep you talking, keep you distracted. They know you don't really give a damn, so they ain't worried about you going to open the trunk. They just wanted to do the distraction, because she could have, I love that a mother gets to have the front seat, but she could have got in the back of the van, and then therefore she could have leaned over the seat. Let me see my grandbabies real quick while we're here, before I get back in the car, since I just went to the ATM, or at any point. And she chose not to. And it had been 10 months since she's seen those babies. So that right there, it's weird that she didn't try to see them. I guess it shouldn't be in this day and age. She clearly didn't care. What Opal preaching about? Opal always preaching. Those sweet babies had to face T&J in person. Why did Wanda get to appear via Zoom? I see what she's preaching about. Yeah. All I could think is because she's out of town. There really shouldn't be another explanation. If you're local, somebody else appeared via Zoom. I can't remember who it was right now. Not today, but somebody else did. If my mom couldn't find all my kids something for Christmas, then nobody would get anything. Oh, yeah, because, right, wasn't that crazy? Grandma said, was it the sizes? She couldn't find their sizes, so she got robes for everybody else. And she told Jacqueline and Trezell to get the robes for the boys, but it's like, see, that don't sound right, Miss West. Because why couldn't you find the sizes, first of all? The internet, Amazon, give me a break, okay? First of all. But it doesn't that kind of seem like maybe you knew they weren't there anyway, so why buy 2 extra robes? I'm just saying, it's another way to look at it. Miss Maria. Oh, let's talk about her, because she is just as bad as Wanda West. Those babies didn't have no grandmothers. Not those 2. I'm not talking about their biological. I'm talking about Miss Maria Martinez and Miss Wanda West. Those grandmas didn't give a damn about Orrin and Orson, in my opinion. They didn't give a damn. When they talked to her, oh God. I was like, whoa, she said it straight up. Jacqueline got her life and I got mine. Basically, I ain't worried about those kids. I didn't see the kids. I went to see my daughter. I walk in, I walk out, and I oh my God, it was heartbreaking. I was like, ooh, she don't care about the kids. She didn't sound like she even cared about Jacqueline to me. That lady sounded cold. She sounded really cold, in my opinion. I thought so too, Jennifer. I really did. And I think that the lawyers did too. I know, I know Jacqueline's lawyer thought it because of how she was Aubrey. I know that Jacqueline's lawyers thought it because of how they were. She was asking the kid, you did promise that you would tell the truth, right? And don't you remember when you, like, the way she kept asking him to remember he promised to tell the truth was like she felt like he was switching it up too. But what you gonna do? How at least the CPS forensic interviewer, she said it today. She felt like the oldest child wasn't being truthful in his one of his interviews. So, and that was early on. He was trying not to get him in trouble, but at this point, I mean, I don't think there's any way around it. They're in trouble. They might as well leave them babies alone. They've messed with their heads enough. Don't make them fugitives of the law, too. Teaching them perjury at this age is ridiculous. Just imagine what their lives are going to be like. Sheesh. Yeah. I'm with you. They were. I'm telling you that. It was too smooth. I don't remember. And it wasn't the fact that they said, I don't remember, y'all. It was to hear these kids. Now, you got to think 7, 8, 10 years old. I don't remember. It wasn't like, I don't remember, or I don't know. I don't remember. It was, I don't remember. Open and shut. Open and shut. Somebody taught them how to say it, mean it, move on. Seriously, you could hear it in their tone. Versus the little kids that were on this interview today that were just like, and then they spanked the bloody parts and, just kids talking. No, they were talking like they were told what to say and say it definitively. That's what I heard. During my uncle's murder trial, witnesses were court ordered that they could not travel more than 2 hours from the courthouse location. So they could make sure they were at court. That makes sense? Because you don't really have to go see your son right now, Wanda. You just don't. You have barely been there for these boys as it is. At least go to court. Jesus. Sorry, y'all. I'm sipping on a smoothie. I didn't feel like eating today, so I had to get a smoothie tonight. But if you're subpoenaed, then why not demand in person on the stand in a high-profile murder trial? I agree. Because we need to, it's almost like them with those damn masks on in the first interview. We can't see your facial expression, your grimaces, your lip biting, or, you know what I mean? We couldn't read all the body language from the facial expression. So being on Zoom and stuff is very similar. You can kind of play a part. The tears sounded real, though, today. I can't lie. It hit me. The first time I said, ooh, ouch. It was like, ouch, because I care about people. And it was like, this is a grandma. Like, damn, it has to hurt. But then I realized what she was hurting for. And it was like, it should hurt. It should sting like a mofo. Because you stood by and you did absolutely nothing. And probably, more than likely, there were some warning signs. Because child murder usually comes with some warning signs. Some sort of abuse, something. She saw something. Or she's down with it. And she raised them that way to use belt buckles and stuff. So she didn't see nothing wrong with it. Miller Nature. All right, sweetheart. Good night, my love. I didn't even give you your feel-good story. Look at the story, Story of Survival on my TikTok. That's what I was going to give you. Jennifer, I love you just as much, and that's okay, baby. It's late. It's okay. We're wrapping it up, and I'm about to give that heartfelt story of the night. Aquahoma, hello, my love. I'm glad you slid in here. Oh, LaKendra, I don't have Cash App anymore, baby. Only PayPal. I'm sorry. I need to take that off of Nightbot. I need to update Nightbot. I don't know what Cash App is. It's janky. And that was before the founder was murdered. Y'all heard about that, right? Ay. LaKendra, I'm sorry, baby. I love you, though. It's the thought that counts. Shreddertainment. Look at that name. Hello. I really appreciate you chatting about this case. It's my OG case that got me started in true crime, and the boys got a grip on my heart. Amen. It's been a tough week of truths. Yes. And where are the boys? Facts. And it's going to get tougher. I feel like we were talking about it last night, a bunch of us in here, and we were like, what about Wanda? Like, we got to hear from Wanda. And I'll be damned, they popped her up bright and early this morning. They got more. They got more. This U-Haul, he asked about that U-Haul in a lot of detail. And I'm like, oh my God. But see, if the U-Haul was leading us somewhere, I feel like it should lead us to the boys. But it might just, I don't know, it might be a piece of the puzzle. It might really be. Oh, who is that? Opal. Opal. You know you Q's crew. Thank you, Opal. Thank you for joining Q's crew. Thank you. Yeah, she did. She did an excellent job. And that Alexia, she was trying her best to kind of dig in. And then the lady just, she handled it. She did. It was a crazy day this whole week. Yeah, and we got, what is it? Oh my God, it's just now Thursday. So far, I think they're having trial every day. So who knows who else they're gonna, like, who else? I don't know, man. It's scary, but I'm ready. I want to know. What about the kids saying the bed was there just to make it seem like the boy was there? Ain't that something? Those kids are not crazy. They tried to play them like they were crazy, but those kids are not crazy. And I think as they get older, it might be coming together. I hope. Hi, Nisha. Hello. I want to say good morning, but we got like 1 minute before I can say that on my part of the world. Let's see. And what kind of beds did they have? They folded to move. None of my mattresses fold. I know that's right. And they said they took them all. Yeah. Okay. It's all too suspect. Okay. Look who's in the building. Pause everything. Hey, Chris Thorns. Sliding through. Got to get up later for work. Talk to you soon. Okay. Aw. Thank you, honey. I just mention this man? I must have talked him up out his sleep. His ears was burning. Damn it. And I forgot what I was telling y'all. Let me read. They'll take me back. Oh, it was Opal and the mattresses. Crap. It was something about those mattresses. Okay. I can work with that. Look, Kendra, let's do it. For real, we have to do it. We have to do it. That would be awesome. I'm trying to go back. But what was I saying about the mattresses? Okay, you said what kind of beds did they have? Yeah, your mattresses, none of your mattresses fold. And then what was I going to say about that? Oh, dang it. Y'all, it was a good thought, too. I got thrown off by Chris Thorne's all up in the building. It's all right. It'll come back. To hear those babies and to know they had to look at their parents was killing me, right? Yesterday, the attorney asked them, well, the day before yesterday now, did anybody tell you not to look over there? I guess the kids didn't want to look, or they weren't looking at them. Because I'm pretty sure this was the attorney for the boys that asked, did anybody tell you not to look over there? So they had to be not looking in the direction of their parents, which, see, that goes back to that coaching. Why in the world? I mean, I just can't imagine. And I have to tell that stuff. Even the boy said it in his interview. He was like, no, that he was on the stand. He said it was very hard for him to be up there and to tell the truth. That's what he said. Now that's a kid's honesty right there. It is hard to tell the truth when you have to incriminate your mama and daddy. I'm sure it is. But if my mama murdered my sister or brother, mama, you going down, mama. You hear me? She know it. I'm going to do a story and everything. I'm for right. I told y'all. And she raised me that way. So my dad is the same. My dad is the same. So when I say I don't understand some of this stuff, the same stuff I talk about, I don't get it. Like, I'm not from that world. Like, my family, we love each other. We care about each other. Even if we don't call every single day and stuff, we got each other's back. You need $20, you can got $20. You know what I mean? We got family still. But a lot of people don't have family in this world. And that is just really sad. Yes, LaKendra, that's my boy too. I know. I'm trying to get to Tennessee. I'm trying. I really am. Give me some barbecue. He said he was going to show me around. I just got to get myself. I got to get the courage, man. This world is scary. I got to just keep it real. Oh, world is scary. In Tennessee, if you're still listening, Chris, has been going down in your part of town, man. Listen. Tennessee. Oof. Kind of scared. I'm kind of scared. It's like a little baby Chirac going on in Tennessee. Of course, my nose is itching. All right. I'm going to give y'all your feel-good story because I lied, an hour ago and said I was getting out of here and I was giving you your story. But we started talking and people started waking up. Okay, just a reminder, you don't have to listen to all of this again if you want to just hear the minutes from yesterday, May 3rd, of the trial. In the Orrin and Orson West playlist. They're all there by date, and you can do it without going back through the whole live if you did miss that part. Or you can just replay and live in the moment. I am going to share a story about a survivor, and I'll just leave it at that. And then we are going to come back together tomorrow evening and go through our minutes and our shock and awe of the day together again. All right. So I'm going to take you to this video and I will see y'all tomorrow night. Literally see you because I'll turn the camera on. Here we go. I love you, beautiful people. And I will see you in the comments. Well, after that last prison story, y'all, I needed a feel-good story myself. So here's one. Let's hear it. An 81-year-old man survived on croissants, candy, and biscotti after a snowstorm left him stranded on a desolate California highway alone for nearly a week. Oh my God. Jerry Geray's family eventually called the Inyo County Sheriff's Department to report a missing person after the mathematician and former NASA employee never made it to his destination of Gardnerville, 3 hours away from his mountain house in Big Pine. Apparently, he had set off in good weather. There was a snowstorm in the forecast, but Geray thought he could arrive safely before the winter weather began. Don't do that, y'all. Please don't ever do that. Over the following days, a series of winter storms continued to affect the region, which delayed the county's search and rescue team from launching a search along Highway 168 for a day. On March 1st, 5 days after Mr. Geray set out, 2 attempts to find him were unsuccessful. However, on March 2nd, with support from California Highway Patrol helicopters, they identified a cellular ping from his phone somewhere in the Gilbert Pass area. CNN reports that the petite man was ill-prepared for the weather, wearing only a light windbreaker. A light quilt and a hotel bath towel were the only things Geray had to keep himself warm. Wow. He smartly conserved his car battery and gas for several days, only starting the SUV's engine periodically to warm up. Wow, smart, smart man. He rolled his window down occasionally to eat snow, but that survival technique to keep him hydrated backfired on the 3rd day when the battery died while rolling up the window. That's probably when he wished modern cars also featured non-electric manual crank windows in case of emergency, because it then remained open a few inches for the remainder of his ordeal. Amid the search, one of the helicopter pilots spotted something he initially thought was a large rock, reported CNN. A closer look revealed a vehicle, and the pilot spotted an arm waving out of the small opening in the car window. Wow. Miraculously, the senior was discharged from the hospital later that evening, suffering only from dehydration. Amen. Whew. The Inyo County Sheriff's Office shared the story on Facebook, saying the success of this mission was the result of the many volunteers who commit their personal time to serve as members of Inyo County Search and Rescue, Sheriff's Office, CHP Air Operations, Caltrans District 9, as well as many members of the community, both near and far, who offered planning, logistical, and moral support. Officials took to the community to remind everyone to always be prepared for unexpected events and have a safety plan in place when traveling through the mountains. Thank God he survived. I'll see you in the comments, beautiful people.